Granted, for me, it's like wizard's second level or wizard's second level spells. So those are the fun
more witch bolts.
I mean, unfortunately, witch bolt doesn't continue as well. It's great at first
scale.
level,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then you do more initial damage, but the constant damage is still just 1d12.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Is it only 1d12? It doesn't go up?
Nope. The initial damage goes up by a d12 every spell level, but the continuing damage remains a d12.
That's kind of
Oh.
So it's great for first level, okay for second level,
Unlike-
or if you really need to like stretch spells.
Unlike, what is it? Not death, the opposite of cure wounds is inflict wounds. That scales up with a d12, right? Or d10?
Yeah, I think it's a d10.
And it starts off pretty devastating.
Yeah, it's like 3d10 to begin with.
Something like that.
And then it
it's
just
just
goes up
a
by a
touch.
d10
Yeah,
each time.
it's,
And that's not too bad for
that's
scaling.
pretty solid. I mean, it's no fireball, but what is?
It's also for a cleric, so that's...
Never underestimate cleric's fighting abilities.
Yeah, nobody thinks of using, like, inflict wounds, because it's like a touch, but, you know, it's like, oh, it's bad cleric, only
It's
bad
your
clerics
healing
use.
capability. Why are you using it to do damage? Yeah. I still need to play like a... I want to do like a cleric monk. So you are focused on that melee combat. Okay, I think it's just the 2 spells.
Well, I think I'm just doing +2 dex. Because I'm not actually using a crossbow. Because a hand crossbow would be nice, and then get the crossbow.
Yes, but isn't your signature weapon already a bow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can change it, like, every level.
You can change it?
Yeah. So if I wanted to go rapier now that, you know...
I don't think you
Level
can turn
4.
your rapier into a grappling hook.
Well, I can also change that. Yeah. Because then I would use it as... Well, a battering ram's probably too costly. Because it has to be like 50 gold or something.
Not to mention, a battering ram rapier defies logic.
Yes.
It's never stopped any of us.
It's true.
Because otherwise it'd mostly just be a crowbar. So, no sense. It's a battering ram. Yeah.
Don't underestimate a good battering.
Beep beep. Doors open.
Beep beep Richard.
Yeah, I let a party have one of those ones and just regretted it for the rest of the campaign.
Once you have it, you have to use it.
Yeah.
And once you have to use it, it's...
You have to use it for as much as possible.
Yeah.
You get the 2 strongest people to use it.
I finally got to the point where it just didn't matter because, I mean, really locked doors are pointless in D&D anyway because...
It's just another skill challenge. Of
But even
like,
if they
what are you gonna
fail,
do?
they still have to get through it, so what's
Yeah.
the point of even...
Oh, yeah. For critical path, yeah. But I tend to only either try to lock like side doors or do the classic...
It's gonna
Yeah,
hurt.
that dog.
Zoe, come on.
No, they
Charge.
broke out of her door when she was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
They broke into him.
Yeah.
Leon,
You're gonna end up strangled, dog. He's gonna hold on to you. You're gonna shut up a
Francis
little bit.
also managed to Houdini out of his sweater. Hi.
not surprised by that.
Now,
It's all tied in.
if I let him go, he's gonna start barking.
5, 6, 4,
Well, I'm eating, so maybe not.
28.
You know. Nope.
Wait, there's food over there.
I put cinnamon chips in the Leon, come here.
Go get your brother. There you go.
You jump right on.
Hi.
How you doing over there, Thomas? Like I said, you can come over and listen to the game if you want, or you can stay over there.
Say we've got
Your
a
call.
chair. We can pull it for you.
Enjoy it before becoming a dog.
Hey.
Holy
Yeah.
hush.
Look, if I don't bark, how are you going to know I'm here?
Yeah,
Oh,
how would we
no.
ever know? That's my rule of thumb, personally.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the bartenders. Okay. Please die of old age.
I mean, I'll just put them back
I
on
mean,
the
it's
door.
going to happen. It's going to happen to all of us.
We're gonna have
happen
premature.
It's a process, though.
I'd rather that process speed up a little bit right now.
I cannot use the one dice because you have the same color.
I'd rather I had a button. So every time he barks at
Old
me.
age.
Huh?
Holding him and petting him because otherwise he will leave.
Okay.
Seems to be the secret.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the secret is paying him all the attention, so you cannot do anything else. But it does work.
Well, he's watching me.
Yeah.
He knows I'm not happy with him.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna let you go. Alright, sat down.
Plus I have leashes.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I was just going to count the number of seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The key is to wait for him to sit, because then at that point he's like, alright, there's effort.
All right, I'm committed.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson to honor
Just
Christopher
stand up.
There he
Tolkien
goes.
with 578 film adaptation. of this sort.
Keep your door open so they'll snip in and out of your room.
Yeah, so who has control of the IP now in the family?
If you don't shut up, I'm going to put
Good
you
question. I don't know.
End of discussion.
The
I
button.
think I was gonna say. I think his nurse who thought that she killed him but didn't.
There you go.
No, don't start.
The only way to properly honor Christopher Tolkien is to get rid of one of the Hobbit movies. Just to go backwards.
His dying wish was to get rid of the decimation of Smaug. Okay, it doesn't exist anymore. I
Weird,
guess.
but you know, he said there were too many.
We had to honor, you know.
Yeah.
It
was in the will.
One thing that's crazy.
It was
Yeah.
either get rid of one movie or just play it at 3 times speed. All 3 of them. I don't.
At the same time,
At
like
the
showing
same-
at
yes.
the
It's like a 3-part panel, and they play at like 1.5 times speed, so you get through it a lot
Clockwork
faster.
Orange
Yeah.
Did you ever see somebody? I'm sure I must have the file somewhere, but somebody combined all 3 Hobbit movies into one hour-and-a-half movie.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, I've heard it's actually pretty good too.
I've been meaning to watch many of the one of the many Star Wars prequel edits where they just kind of like
cut out a lot.
trim the
8-minute
cruft.
movie.
Yeah.
so no Hayden Christensen.
The machete edit.
Yeah. Well, that's not machete order. Not an edit though. But there are some edits that are like, all right, let's just speed this along. We know this. Let me rearrange this scene. You know, like, and just trim the fat.
Well, look, here we are. at the
I'm okay
lightsaber.
with Hayden Christensen being there, but
He's supposedly coming back. He's going to be part of
Obi-Wan
the
stuff.
Obi-Wan.
oh, okay. Hey, good.
As-
The guy's a great actor too.
Yeah, he's
like,
not bad.
like
he just didn't have like good direction.
yeah, like
Or
what's
it's
that?
good script.
Well,
There's
no
only so
chemistry
much-
Shards
between him
of
and
glass.
Natalie Portman.
Well,
It's a huge problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard a great explanation for that, where it's like, you're watching 2 teens fall in love. Of course it's not going to be the height of romance.
Well, even that.
Yeah, even then.
There's just no chemistry. He's just not he doesn't have the dynamism that you expect from an actor, right?
He's great in other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
If
Like-
you see him in other movies, he's really good.
Well, I must
It
have
is
seen those
just the scripts.
movies. Well, yeah.
Like,
Like,
everybody's
I
complained
watched
that
him
George
in
Lucas
something
writes
else, and I was like,
impossible.
It's like
he's a
something
great actor.
Shards of
Something about the
Glass or
house.
something that's so
because I've
good.
seen a lot of like the background
Could
stuff
be
where
bad
he
direction, too.
always asks Lucas for
Both.
like direction, and he just doesn't get like very much out of him.
Faster,
While like
more
Ewan
intense.
McGregor didn't need that,
Oh,
and
quicker.
Shattered Glass. That's
he did.
that's the one he's
a
like
little
been
bit
really
better
Hamill always
fucking
says it
good.
was always
He's
quicker,
done
more
things,
intense.
and he was.
Yeah.
I watched him in
Hayden
another
Christensen.
movie and was like, "This is the same guy who played Anakin." Like he's really a good actor. It's just Lucas.
Doesn't like Sam.
Takers.
Don't bring that up at cons.
There's one about a house he was in that I watched. That was
Life
really
as a
good.
House.
Life as a house.
But even I mean,
Shattered Glass
I'm,
is
I'm
like
thinking
really,
now
really
of
good.
scenes in the prequels. I mean, he's genuinely bad. I mean, when he's talking about that he
Killed
killed
the
all
children.
the sand people, that's pretty bad.
The mother and children too.
Yeah, well,
sometimes it's the actor, sometimes it's, I mean, it ultimately falls on the director when you get a crappy performance because
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
you're not trying to get more out of that performance.
Sometimes it's both.
You've got
Sometimes it's both.
Because
I can
you've got
think
the
of
power to be like,
you
go
figure.
I can think of a few
This is the
instances
best we got.
where the work that I did, I know was objectively bad, but I was like, well, that was a
That was the
project.
best I could do
Yeah.
at the time.
Or you have ideas and the director goes no, but doesn't give you any other ideas.
You know, just the situation was just like, you're stuck. This is what you're going to do.
Yep.
I mean, I will
Did I-
always go back to the English voice acting for Japanese video games in the 90s.
Yeah,
All your
It's
days are belonging.
not great.
No, not even that. Like the actual English voice acting.
Yeah.
Silent Hill is one of the best examples where he knows how to enunciate and whatnot, but the director for it kept being like, no, change your emphasis. And it's because they're going from a very different cultural point of view. You would
Right.
say things differently if this was Japanese, but in English it sounds really weird as a result.
Did you ever watch Con Man with Alan Tudyk? It was his crowdfunded.
No.
It's actually quite
No.
funny. But he does voiceover stuff and
Yeah.
similar. He does something in the director. No, do it this other weird way that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Apparently that's real. Yeah.
Because
To further carry on my point, I was in a production of Maine once. It's that that musical.
He played the title role.
I did play Maine. Yes, I was a grand old dame at that point. And,
Hopefully, you were better than Lucille Ball.
I don't know. We'll never know. I guess I'll never get my shot. But, I played. This was down south, right? There's that. I say that because there's some forgivable context, but also none. And I ended up playing Ito, who is, you can probably guess by the name of the character, the Japanese.
Canadians.
Japanese Canadian. Yeah, it was close.
The Japanese servant.
You didn't do a
in-
Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's, did you?
Yes.
Not as egregious as that, but basically it was like on direction and everything like that. And I was really young and I was insulated and everything like that.
Doing what you're told.
And I was just like, okay, well, obviously I have to use a different foundation. Like I have to get kind of
The Trudeau method.
if you
Spray
will.
tan.
Yeah, and then I have to and then
Snuck into the bathroom.
And then there's a whole shtick about
Let's find out.
Ito can't necessarily see very well, so
The
okay,
garbage
well, I'm gonna
is
do
in
this
the
the whole
map,
time.
so
It
the
was
little garbage.
Yeah.
It's just-
probably
he's
the
trying to
worst
find a
thing
way
that I've ever
in.
done. But again,
It's like how do you do can't see well
I
without
always say that I only saw 20% of that show. I was in the whole thing, but I was just the whole time.
Oh man,
It was a bad accent. It was all awful. But at the time, nobody in the
Nobody
context
questioned you.
Nobody was like, let's pump the brakes.
Like,
here.
we're glad you're
this
doing this and
tasteful?
not us. That's basically what it
It's
is.
not like all of that was my idea. It was just like, I guess this is the direction of the character. The director's not giving me any kind of feedback. Nobody's doing the obvious thing of saying
No.
let's pump the brakes here.
Yeah,
tone that down just a bit.
And people liked it. The people down there liked it, and it was fun, and everything, and we had a good time. But then again,
it was a different time.
later, looking back on that, I was like,
Well, it's like we're doing Boys Next Door right now, and Andy Meyer's playing Lucian, who's supposed to be a big black character, and so
You're
the
kidding.
the first night,
No.
he's no black people even tried out. So he's
even try
he
to
was
find
kind
out?
of doing
Don't
a
do the
deep
show.
voice. He was doing a deep voice and kind of kind of
Like
putting
that,
a little.
the
And
Green
I was like,
Lantern,
I hope this does not stick. And then thankfully the next night, he stopped. He dropped that. He was like, maybe that was a bit much. He's like, yeah, that was a little much.
yeah.
But then, what's it? The old guy, Greg or whatever. He's supposed to say a line and you got that darky roommate of yours, because he's supposed to be this old racist guy, and he's like,
Yeah.
well, he's not dark, so he's like, oh, you got that kike roommate of yours, and it's like, no one told
That's
you.
worse.
We were like, no one told you to change that. We were like, you should have asked what we should have said there, not just thrown that out for no reason.
That's a step
Yeah,
up.
we were like, hold on,
That's escalated.
Turkey's not great, but that's a soft version of what you're
very
going for.
soft.
Yeah.
What you did is you're like, I'm going to jump straight to the top of the Jewish list then.
I mean, it's a choice.
Not a good one.
Everybody was like, oh, okay, hold on. Like, maybe we can discuss what you're going to say instead of you just deciding what you're going to say
See
there.
that, like in the middle of
You know
production, you're
what?
just like,
I'm really going in more the direction of Jason suggesting you do all the Norman scenes for us. I actually kind of
I
like this
suggested
idea
her
now.
that you
Oh,
come
I told
over,
him.
you do all of your scenes, and then we don't have to go see.
I'm
the rest of
considering
the
now.
Fair.
Maybe that's a good idea.
The guy playing Barry is really good, though.
He
he's
is.
really
I remember
good.
him from the
This is the
workshop,
first time
and
he's
he's
ever
great.
auditioned for anything.
And he's on the spectrum
so good.
himself, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
Oh,
And I love Andy. I just
And the guy playing Arnold's picking it up too.
okay, good.
Sometimes people just take that like testing the water step.
I
and
know.
it's on the deep end
I know Gregory, and he
instead of the
doesn't. He doesn't always.
Acting is always about making strong choices, but like most of those choices are going to be bafflingly bad. You just have to move on.
Gregory is one of those people who always shows up at audition and usually never gets cast.
He's
There's So there's this article someone posted on Facebook about science confirms owning dachshunds helps the owners reduce stress.
Oh, sure.
You don't say.
what? Can you imagine how stressful your life would be without those dogs? Wow.
Hey, Francis isn't a dachshund for the record.
there are things called outliers, and
Yeah, I was about to say we're an outlier and should not be counted.
The exception to prove over. That's not
Leon
gonna
is very sweet when he's not barking all the time.
When he's not existing. He's-
happen. Maybe it's because Leon is a perfect outlet for aggression.
I guess.
Oh, wait. I found a new
that sounds
headline.
bad.
Because, I
Yeah,
mean,
probably.
you guys saw him last night. He just laid on the couch and
He's
was
fine.
like super chill and quiet and
he likes fighting
Cuddling?
games. That's his
All
thing.
right.
That's
given
yeah.
that we have minors
So
in
more
here,
PvP. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I
I'll
hear.
go ahead and read it.
He was like Smash Brothers.
That's the title.
Unstoppable.
But then the stress of other people went up dramatically.
That's the word.
Unstoppable.
That's a good title.
Like that whole headline in the context of 2020, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But then they put unstoppable.
Everything else, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. We're going there, and then they're like, oh, the journalists have decided.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
That's
Yeah,
just a very strong.
that's what made me
Yeah.
copy that.
Yeah.
Very strong word.
no
to use.
thanks. No one wants that word. Unstoppable.
Gotta stop at some
I'm trying to decide if it would be more or less uneasy
get
if they
to
put
work
it
in
in
the morning.
quotations,
Yeah,
like
I got-
unstoppable.
I gotta go to sleep.
Well, no,
at some
that
point.
wouldn't be. That would suggest like
Maybe
it
that's
isn't. That's not a strong PR move.
Yeah.
But neither is using the word unstoppable.
I can almost guarantee you that a man thought of it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Who wrote
Maybe
the article?
not.
No, we can test immediately by figuring out who wrote the article.
Maybe it was a different robot that
Oh,
built
you're
it.
talking about who? Okay.
Who?
I'm
wrote
thinking
that
that
headline?
that's like
No,
I was
the
thinking
title.
that's advertisement from. I
Oh.
think that was supposed to be there.
Oh.
Like if you had
Like the marketing team.
if you had a robot of such a make, wouldn't you also want it to be like, you know, indestructible, unstoppable? You
Oh,
know.
indestructible would be good too.
I feel like indestructible would be a better move than
Yeah.
unstoppable. Because
Yeah.
unstoppable is terrifying.
Permanently
Yeah.
rigid.
Well, it also indicates like
Still better.
It never
aggression.
stops.
You don't have to call the doctor after 4 hours.
Mechanic.
I was gonna say mechanic though, maybe.
Because yeah, like unstoppable.
The hydraulic pump is
right
broken.
Up there with like can't be stopped, which is dangerous.
There you go. Steven gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And it connotations for that train movie. No one wants that.
if you,
Copyright no loss.
Right.
I feel like if you agreed to the EULA when you installed this robot, then you don't have any excuse.
You did this to you.
You did this to you. Okay, so did everybody get comfortably up to level 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have all my hit points yet.
I
because
added my stuff last time.
Yeah, I got like 6
I added
hit
my
points.
stuff.
I just wish I had a better racer. 'Cause
Well,
I thought
you-
I had packed one.
You don't get those new hit points right away.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
The maximum increases, but I mean, if you're still
if
hurt
you-
after the fight, you don't magically get better.
What if you were at max?
Then yeah, you would.
Okay.
You see what I'm
so you
saying?
don't get the
Yeah.
new hit points on top of.
The way that I've always treated it is, if you were already at full health, then you can just go ahead and get those points. But if you were already damaged, you should stay that way. And your maximum should go up, so the next time you rest, you get your new.
Okay, well, I still have 12 hit
The
points.
way we've always done it before, at least in Steven's game, is like
You just
It
you
goes-
get your bump, but
You don't go up to max.
yeah.
So I have 12 hit points right now. When I level up, do I get the extra 8 from leveling up, or do I stay at 12?
No, your maximum goes up, but you don't. Your current doesn't change.
Okay, so I still have 12. I don't get to go up to 20 because I gained 8 hit points from gaining level.
Not right now.
Okay.
No, but like I said, the next time you rest.
That's fine. I just want to make sure I understood.
Can you heal up to it though?
Yeah, if you have healing on you, then you can do that too. Yeah.
Cool.
Theoretically, I shouldn't get punched by anything else right now.
Theoretically.
The way that I look at it is that if you've just finished sort of a pitched battle and like the whole sort of and
That's really good.
the whole arc of the thing is like, well, this is kind of a gauntlet. Like, right, if you happen to level up in the middle of that, and you happen to go back up a significant amount of hit points, the challenge curve is all messed up because you got this weird like bump in the middle of it. Like, it doesn't seem.
So then
It doesn't track with me, right?
Do you get that extra hit die for leveling?
I think that's fair,
Yeah, that I can follow the logic there.
right?
Yeah, because then it's like, okay, you take your rest, you're back up to this like new
Yeah. Again, it's
level of vigor.
it's all
Well,
rest.
technically, you're not supposed to level up until you rest anyway, right?
Right.
Long rest.
Yeah. Well,
So do you want more coffee?
that's sort of
I
my
just
my
had one,
compromise.
so I'm good
there,
right now.
Right.
If it gets made, I'll have it.
Anybody else? Tom, Kyle, you guys?
I won't say
Another
no.
coffee.
I just had one, so I'm good.
So
Coffee is distilled even.
all you have to do is
Add
like.
sugar.
I mean, you guys are heading back into the old city
Yeah.
the port proper to begin with. So like, you guys could very easily just like take a nap and be fine, you know.
Yeah. Take an hour.
But I wanted to go ahead and say that so that in the future, if you happen to level up like
In the middle of the jungle.
in the middle of the jungle, like
As one does.
yes, don't expect to be like a great light to come from the sky and heal you unless you willed it. Right.
I mean, we've got clerics here.
Well,
Great light.
I don't really. I don't have like health-based like spells
Yeah.
and stuff.
oh, that's right because
I have like
because
protective stuff, but like not.
We onboarded Kyle into the game pretty quickly with a
We
pre-generated
pre-picked everything, so
and
it's
the
all
spells
like,
were randomized. So
So wait, it's the cleric
could-
who's burning everything down?
yes.
Okay.
You could.
I stole a
re-choose
giant
your
thing of
spells.
oil. He lit it on fire, and then I just threw the oil at the monster.
cleansing.
Yes.
Get burned with fire.
Trial by fire.
I mean, that's the answer, right?
Although your intent was to burn down the place before when you grabbed the.
I was hoping that the whole building would go down,
what's
but it
the-
was saved.
Take the creature with it.
School of cleric that is basically like a spellcaster, like they have fireball.
Oh,
That's intelligence in it.
Tempest, maybe? No.
Well,
Knowledge?
because
I'm a charlatan.
it's
some
one
of them
the
have-
UAs.
That might be.
Oh, okay.
I had a lizard folk cleric.
Theurgy or
Burned
war
everything.
magic or something. Like, I don't
Yeah, I don't think it's war magic.
remember the name of it.
no, because
I
some
mean,
of them
I
are a
think
little
that
bit more spell based
they're all-
than like
They're all so close to it. It feels like.
melee based. Because like light is a little bit more spell based. Life is a little bit more spell based, except for more like healing. I think the
Well, you do have a
intelligence one is a little bit more as well. Because then you don't get like the heavy armor and
Now, this
Right.
one was
Martial weapon
definitely, it was like
proficiency.
the wizard of the cleric.
yeah. I do think I remember seeing that in one of the UA ones.
one of the earlier ones.
Yes, yeah, everything was
Like
fire.
it was in like the past year they had like expanded classes.
It was kind of interesting to see your cleric hurling fireballs around.
Francis. Come on.
Okay, so let's get back up to speed. Okay, shouldn't be too difficult. So after the unfortunate,
Choice.
I can't say accidental, and I can't say unintentional either. After the unfortunate and
Francis.
Willful.
inevitably costly arson incident
Oh.
at the at Kaya's House of Repose,
That's fair.
you guys went to, and I'm doing this for your benefit too. Tom.
Pissed off one of the princesses.
So you guys went to the Thundering Lizard instead, which you needed accommodation, and Kaya's House of Repose is being kind of like was getting kind of temporarily shut down because they needed to deal with like the fire damage and stuff.
Renovations.
Yeah, and to sort of contain the issue and make sure find all the not tenants, but basically the tenants that had fled, right? So you guys headed to the Thundering Lizard, which, as I mentioned, is the tonal opposite of Kaya's House of Repose, which is all
Not on fire?
all raucous all the time, not on fire. Yeah. So you guys went in there. You met Volo,
Nice.
who successfully sold you a copy of Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Wouldn't
You
give us
specifically.
Gerald's Guide to Snakes.
Yes.
He wouldn't give it to us.
He didn't. Yeah, Gerald's Guide to Snakes was not available.
Neither was
It's a competing title.
We're gonna start adding it to this book.
the slime
nearly
monster
well
wasn't
done,
in there.
Gerald.
What we saw soon wasn't in there.
So
A lot of addendums.
after that business, you went upstairs. You basically did successfully rest, but there was a lot of commotion downstairs because the thundering lizard is thundering all the time, right? The following morning, the bottom floor, in fact, the entire building was silent. You guys went down to discover that the place had been emptied. There wasn't anybody there. But food had been left out, sort of half-eaten, half-finished. Mugs were there, as if everyone had just sort of picked up and left. Soon after, you realized that coming down the street was a kind of a procession. There were 4 Chilton women bearing a palanquin. Now that we know the word for that,
I just think it's pronunciation.
is it
I think it's
palanquin?
palanquin.
I've heard both.
But basically, the throne on the bars and the whole thing.
There was a
very
pronunciation
Egyptian.
guide in there. I just
But
I
basically,
don't know how to
yeah.
read
So
those.
this group was ferrying that down the street, and off of that came an old, sort of wizened-looking man with a milky eye and curled, gnarled hands and everything like that.
Palanquin.
And he approached the party, saying, "Please come in. I have some things to discuss with you."
it is key.
And basically saying that he was a representative of the merchant prince Jessamine. And
Which means
that,
I'm freaking out the entire time.
Like freaking out, man.
Don't make him mad. Don't make him mad.
and that Kaya's House of Repose was under Jessamine's sort of stewardship, right? I.e., source of income, right? And so this issue that you guys had caused there necessitated a debt paying, right?
Saying you guys is kind of.
When you're a D&D party, you're sorry.
I was unconscious at the time.
She was up. No, you were upstairs.
No, when he burned down the house, I was
Look,
unconscious.
if you don't say no, then you're on board.
That's
Conscious or
very
not.
troubling.
It is.
Very
You didn't kick me out of the group when I joined, so that's on you.
That's true. You could have just kicked him out. We could have just. Anyway, so
Just hand you over.
basically, this representative said, like, okay, you owe Jessamine. Now you need to pay some favors, right? So he dropped
Every
off
word at
a
first.
scroll that basically said, like, gave some information about some disappearances that had been happening in the old city, in the sort of kind of what we would call sort of the slum region of Port Nyanzaru, where the executioner's run is and all that stuff, where the giant refuse pit is, and basically that some children had gone missing around the refuse pit, and the people were concerned about that, and previous adventurers that Jessamine had sent to investigate the issue had not come back. So basically,
We're the next
you
team.
yeah. So basically, the representative said, "You fix this problem, and go
It's the
see
down
Jessamine.
payment.
Then maybe the debt's wiped. Like that's
So when you've got refuse problems, we're the group for you.
yes."
Yep.
So they, sure enough, went to the old city. They discovered that after some rudimentary investigation and everything like that, they discovered that there was some kind of creature living in the refuse pit that had
I was just thinking Otiug.
That's what
that
I
had
thought.
been
But no.
that had been kind of like basically abducting the children and like stealing them and throwing them into the pit and doing
Eating them.
Well, why are people letting their kids play in a refuse pit? Let's just start there.
Near, not
Well,
in.
Yeah,
it's
true.
it's near, and then somehow it was like enticing them. To
It's
come
either, it's
in.
either
You ever
that.
been near a trailer
Oh.
park? Those kids just do whatever
Yeah.
they want.
Pennywise, isn't it?
There you go.
I mean, in a way,
Yeah, 'cause
right?
I thought it
No,
was
because
could be
I'm
like a
scared
hag or something like that.
Good to know.
In-
I have so many memes.
Oh no.
In theory,
Please
no.
don't.
and in theories, like kind of like Pennywise, but yeah. So they waded into the refuse pit and ended up fighting this thing, which was like a sort of an
Just
amalgamation of like sand and trash, and like it was this whole sort of thing. But they managed to destroy it and successfully extricate themselves from the refuse pit. Unfortunately, the children were nowhere to be found.
Did you burn the refuse pit?
No, because it was like very flammable. So
Probably.
I think
It's
It's just
everyone.
like methane.
Had I
everywhere,
tried,
so-
everyone would have died.
Just like the whole port. Just
I would have rolled.
And while I would have been
20d6
fine because
fire
I
damage.
was out of the pit, everyone else would have died, and I would have felt a little bad.
Only a little.
just 20 d20.
Hey, look,
Because
I
it would have burned all
completed
the money, all the items.
So that was one thing that Jessamine required sort of ticked off, right? And so they had been instructed by the representative to go and see Jessamine at her merchant villa once this was done, and present some kind of proof that it had been taken care of, and basically that she would reward them and then say what was next, sort of their step to clear their debt. And a lot of this was helpful because the person that actually ended up inadvertently kind of causing the Kaya's House of Repose incident, that wasn't Kyle's character, was a sort of a shaman type who
Who's employed by...
who was employed by Jessamine to deal with some thefts that had been happening at Kaya's Repose, and so had used a sort of like elemental kind of creature to like act as a kind of a
bodyguard,
like a guard dog kind of thing, and it had just gone awry and ended up prosecuting basically the team aggressively, which caused this whole thing to begin with. And so he was worried that Jessamine was just going to like find out and just get rid of him. So not only did they partially pay the debt, but they also helped protect the life of this, what was it, essentially an innocent man who just sort of made a mistake, right? And so now they're
the prices of mistakes are expensive.
They're headed back into the port proper. They're going back through the wall. And their next stop is Jessamine's merchant villa to see what's the next step, what's going on.
After a bath.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. I that was assumed. Yeah.
I'll be good with the refuse.
You should
we had
play
to
a
wait
rogue,
in.
so once you get to level 7, you just listen and say, well, I'm fine.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm going there. I am a rogue.
I didn't choose anything. I just randomized everything.
Yeah, just last night I attacked my party with an OTA who
Nice.
was living literally inside the castle's toilet.
Excellent.
And it had dragged one of the characters in.
I will say that originally that little task
Encounter.
that you guys did involve an Otyuk, but then I decided it didn't.
I'm just glad nobody got any weird sort of septic sewer disease of
We
some
all
sort.
did
Well,
like
we
down
protected
some
ourselves
I
pretty good.
figured I'd wait till the jungle for that stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're going to find all kinds of weird shit in the jungle. Stuff in the jungle.
Yeah, we better have like DDT or whatever for the mosquitoes.
Then a little bit of Agent Orange over here.
Yeah.
Just take care of the jungle.
Oh wait, no, that's D.
What I know about Schultz, the jungle's basically like Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
But
I have light. We'll just
but
put light.
but everyone has
just
dysentery.
just track everything.
not just the lawyer.
Oh, one thing to note before we get started is actually in the process of getting rid of this creature in the refuse pit, they discovered a ring,
Most of us discovered a ring.
yes.
and it turned out that ring, once identified, was a ring of wishes.
But
And
it
it
Wow, so
had,
that's a real thing.
and it had
wish
one wish left.
Wooks does not know about the ring.
I was going to say, don't give it to Wooks, he'll wish for a fire.
You probably don't know about the ring either.
That's fine.
And I am hiding the ring.
We decided when we got to town, you just saw a minstrel show and just kept following it around and clapping.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh!
Delightful.
Shiny!
I need to show up more often.
Otherwise, you're going to
My
do
character.
weird stuff like this. Yeah.
Deciding
Do
my
a
character
simple
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you spent the last 3 in-game days trying to invent breakdancing.
Oh, well, okay, that I'm on board with.
Man, I haven't taken those lights down yet. I suck.
So that's. Could you stop?
Sorry.
So now you guys are heading back into the city. You're passing through the gate. You are heading into Port Nazara proper. Very mercifully, the combined stench of the sort of the old city refuse pit and the sort of slum area is beginning to dissipate. However, it's still clinging to your clothes and all this stuff. So
bath time.
less stinky, but
Shall we buy some new clothes and take a bath?
might as well just burn the clothes you have.
Honestly, I
and
was just
start
thinking,
over.
I'm like, I can buy some new
Salty
stuff
earth.
leather.
Yeah.
I'm good, thanks.
I cannot.
I'll buy you some new clothes. Okay.
Just swish for it.
Man, I wish I know.
I wish I looked like a hillbilly pimp. That would be so great.
There you go. Yeah.
He's Xanadu from.
Wow.
There's a
Just
character.
trying to imagine what that is.
There's a character last night.
We can
played
show
a
you. We
fighting
can pull
game
it right
that
up.
Basically looked like that. So
He never blinked.
yeah.
It's true. He never.
Well, his eyes were like a good inch and a half out of his head. And he had a jewel in his beard. That was cool. I want a jewel in my beard.
So
It's like
you have to have a
very
beard first.
You don't have a beard, Kyle.
Have you seen
You can make one.
the Christmas?
Did you not remember my
beard
turkey
Christmas
skin
lights?
mustache that I wore for
No.
most of the round?
That's not smart.
I was thinking about you, the person, not you, the character.
Yeah.
And I've never seen you, the person, with more than what you have on your head right
it's
now.
very patchy. It doesn't.
So
patch
now
your
that you
mind,
guys
so-
are back in Port Danzara, you know your next step. You want to go to the sort of the merchant princess Via, which you know is
Probably west of town, right?
in sort of the northern side of
Yeah.
town, in sort of the Golden Throne kind of area.
Just
Yeah.
past the merchant ward.
Yes.
As we walk
the
to the nearest
you can
bath,
like this
bathhouse,
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest to you, friends, that I go to Jessamine's villa and that not all of us go.
No, you don't want me to go.
I wasn't going to say it like that.
That is fair.
I'm going to suggest that
I can go with
I
you.
go, and perhaps one other person go, but not all of us need to go.
I can
In
go
fact,
with...
I would prefer if not all of us did go. Takde doesn't need to see that.
Go eat more kebabs or something.
Emanuel also doesn't need to see that. I think Emanuel's head will spin round, and she'll just start decapitating people out of sheer righteousness.
Yeah, so you're looking at
I'm cool
5. This is the general the merchant
You were
Prince Via. There.
dangerous to take for other reasons.
Just tell who you want to go. Now you don't have to pick everyone apart and tell us what you don't want us to
Fine,
do.
okay, Lyonel, why don't you come with me? Everybody else stay.
Much faster, less hurt feelings. You know, it's great. It's fine.
So, no, I don't want you to... No, you shouldn't go is not okay, but
Yes.
don't go because your head has spin around and decapitate people.
That was out of character.
Much
Okay, thanks.
That's why you have to have an accent, so you can tell in and
Right.
out of character.
In character, I will just say Jessamine's villa is not the greatest place to go, and I suggest that perhaps Lyonel.
Not the most welcoming.
It's actually a pretty sweet.
And I'm going to suggest that Lyonel and I go
As
to
long as you're
represent our
invited.
party, so you guys can have more time to bathe and clean your clothes or buy new clothes, and that we will be back shortly.
Takde's like popping open one of those bottles of oil ready to burn clothing.
Do we
Right
need to-
after.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, let's-
buy clothes first, then burn clothes.
Before we get any
Okay.
further, let's go ahead and roll for the fortune.
Right.
Make sure.
Right. Dice are a thing.
8.
8,
19.
19,
16.
16,
14.
14, 12. Still good.
God, there it would have been
13.
infinity. That would have been great.
Yep, we're gonna die.
Oh, it's not looking good.
We're
Approaching
gonna
infinity.
die.
Go
That's a
for it.
good thing.
No.
We're gonna die, you guys.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should not have
Wow.
this much good fortune to start.
Statistically.
Statistically,
This is
having
ended
a lot of
Because
good
eventually
fortune
it's all
to
going to
start.
end up red.
It's just let him use his, and then we don't have to use anything. More fun.
That's true.
That's like Steven said on a little Stars game. We ended up with red each time, and he's like, okay, each session. Flip them all over at the end of the session.
Something bad's gonna happen.
No, I didn't
Your,
expect
your
this to
character
go.
has cats.
I didn't expect this to go
I mean, it
this
is in
bad for you
space.
guys, but
Space
we
game.
did this to you.
Yep.
Oh, Trey says hi to everyone and wishes he could be here.
Okay. Basically, same message from Maria.
So what was the plan? So Ruby, you and Lyonel are going to head to the Via.
After we buy new clothes and you
I say you try to
We'll be
leave, and I'm
quick.
just holding my hand out, waiting for you to pay for my clothes.
Please, sir. I want some more.
I'll give
I'll
you 2
hand
gold
you-
coins.
You realize how
Yeah.
cheap clothes
Okay,
are,
cool.
right?
You know how cheap I am, though, right? And I didn't get all that money you guys got from the first few levels.
All right. Well, if Lyonel gives you 2 gold coins, you're good.
That's more than enough. You can buy
No,
really
he gave
nice
you money.
stuff with
Fine. I'll hand
Trying
you
so
1 gold
hard.
coin.
Suckers.
You say audibly.
And don't forget, I found that gold piece at the bar, so I could have used that.
Yeah,
You're rolling.
that's fine.
Okay.
Well, you know I'm a sucker because you watched me hand a woman in the outer,
Like 50.
Yeah, like
20 gold pieces.
a
for
lot more than I
absolutely no
got.
reason, So
And I killed 2 things that were trying to kill you. Whatever.
You could always sell like the mechanical bird.
That's been the... What?
well, Takde has one of the mechanical birds. I have
Yeah,
one
the other
as proof from like, hey, we killed this thing.
A trinket made by a local in the old city that she had been giving out to children as sort of just like. Oh, well, she'd been selling for very small amounts to children, just as just a little trinket or toy that they could use.
You pull on the legs
Found
and the
one
wings
in the
flap, so
trash
Takde
can.
has just been pulling on the wings back and forth,
Yeah.
milking it like a cow.
And for the record, we did grab a couple like trinkets we found that from like kids in the refuse pit to show.
Because
I
the
just
kids
have
bought
this
them.
Just
image of Takde playing with the mechanical thing and eating a kebab and
That's
That's basically him.
pushing the hat up. Out
hence
of the
why I was
That
like,
was-
hmm,
that was
maybe
90%
not
of the last time we
Jason's
played.
villa for Takde.
Glad
He
you
went,
didn't
he went
miss
to
it.
an all-you-could-eat kebab stand, and the guy did not anticipate Takde could eat that much kebab.
I
That
mean,
man made a
Takde is a small kobold, and it's easy to underestimate.
The majority of his weight is just from stuff in his stomach.
When I was a kid, we had this all-you-could-eat Swedish buffet, which was much better than it sounds. Okay, well, everybody said.
Well, I've never heard of
It's
like a
interesting
Swedish
enough.
It is interesting. Yeah.
And my friend went in and
Is it just a night?
pulled out one of the steam trays and just went and sat down.
That's not how that works.
To this day, is the funniest thing I've ever seen someone do.
Did he not burn his hands on that?
I don't know how he did it, but yeah, he just picked it up.
It just
and-
wasn't that hot, so it
Yeah,
wasn't
maybe.
food safe.
Yeah,
Either that or he was very dedicated.
yeah.
He didn't care.
Either way,
It's hilarious.
salute that.
My hands were this red when we came in. It's fine.
And you can tell, like, the people working there wanted to say something, but just didn't.
They don't get paid
Technically, he paid for that. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, what are you gonna do?
It's less dishes for us to wash.
Okay, so for those of you who are not going to, well, let's figure out right now how to get you guys presentable in public again, because as you are making your way through
Pretty woman montage.
the old city, people are, as they're walking by, like. Do you remember that joke from Clue where people keep showing up? And
Yeah.
looking at their
move the
shoes.
refuse pit? What's
Yeah.
going on here?
So, where are you heading to take care of this problem?
Where is the closest bathhouse that I know of?
Yeah.
The closest bath.
I grew up on
Kaya's house of repose. Oh.
I grew up on the outskirts of Scholt. So.
Whoops.
You're on this. You're nearest sort of the Golden Throne area. You've just come into the gate, and you're trying to figure out what to do here. So you're about there, right? You know that Kaya's House of Repose was a bathhouse, but there's some issues with that.
I literally burned the bathhouse portion of it.
You did.
And all
That was
that
the first
water,
person
you
I've
really
heard.
must have.
Well, the slime monster was in the sewers. It was.
That's the advantage of oil.
Now you know that there is a public bathhouse.
Okay. They won't be able to
With
kick
the
us out
common
of it.
riffraff?
Well,
we
they're
have a
they're out
choice?
here. You left the riffraff to go here.
Is there a place in the old city?
That's what I'm saying. There's a public bathhouse in
Okay.
not the old city, but
Okay.
in the port proper that you can go. There's no charge, but bathers are suggested to leave a donation to Soon, the Temple of Soon, befitting their sort of what they say is their station in life, right? You know, if you're poor, you'll leave a copper piece or something like that. If you're decently, wealthy, you might leave a gold piece or whatever. Basically, they suggest for a donation thing, and that is hard to. I'm trying to read
Or
from
like 6. You have a number?
22. There we go. Right here.
The water
That's
wheel
really far away.
looking
Okay.
thing. Let's just hop in the port.
Otherwise, you're going to have to head to some kind of
Jump in the
like,
ocean.
an inn or a tavern and ask them to run something for you, and that'll cost some money.
And
I'm going to the one dedicated to Soon.
I mean, that seems
No,
decent.
we're never getting Emanuel
Well-
out of a public bathhouse. Come on. This is bad. This is bad decision making.
The bathhouse itself
gotta be
isn't
willing.
dedicated to Soon, but they suggest that, like,
Yeah.
they suggest for the temple. So you're going to head down that way.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's probably the
Takde
best idea
will
is to
follow.
head that way.
I'm a dirty, pissed off, 6 foot tall woman. Nobody's going to see anything.
What about your character? So, then you guys sort of make your way. You head south and then east.
If we go through the market ward, then I'll
Yes.
pick up some clothes before
Yeah,
we
I'll-
hit the...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick up
so
some stuff
as
above
you're
the
as
armor
you're
and
crossing
stuff.
through the market ward, you are able to pick up some new sort of basic clothes. Obviously, any sort of armor you're wearing or whatever, you'll have to sort of take care of that. But if you want sort of new basic clothes, that's gonna take a significant amount of the stank off.
Because I'll probably also get, like, some perfumes for, like, the leather armor to, like...
There you go.
To like, cover the smell until it gets, like, cleaned enough.
Yeah. Time to grab some soap. Get scrubbing.
Yeah, lots of soap.
Then-
So I'll buy some soap and some...
Yeah, soap and regular clothing.
It's a fantasy world, so
How
it's got to
much?
be like goblin body spray or something like that.
That sounds right.
It can still be Axe, but like it means like an actual
Axe.
axe.
Or what was the UK name for it? Like Edge or something?
So enough
For
soap,
Axe?
enough soap for the entire party. We'll put it at a gold piece, okay? Because
I'll
otherwise,
do
it's
it.
2 copper piece per indescribable amount of soap, and I don't want to do the math. So
Yeah,
there you
I'll do 2 gold for soaps and like
Similarly,
perfumes.
sets of common clothes. I assume that's what you're talking about. You know, you can get 2 sets for a gold piece.
Done and done.
Okay.
Cool.
And then we'll look into some better stuff later. Because you don't walk into a
much is-
shop like
How
that.
much is perfume?
Perfume? Yeah, I mean
Think 10?
they've got some things. A vial of it is 5 gold pieces.
Ooh,
Nice.
I'll buy 2.
that's pricey.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Good
that doesn't
stuff.
sound like a bad idea.
I'll buy some and then I'm gonna look at Wooks out of the corner of my eye when I'm buying the perfume. Figure out ways I can like surreptitiously dump it on you after your bath.
I just asked if I could have like a sample.
One
I
of
don't.
the-
Does this smell good? I just,
have a
just put a little
magazine
right here,
and
and I'm
put
just
the
like
sample.
rubbing it.
Yeah, one of the attendants just a very little dot, you know, on it. Go ahead, try it. Yeah.
It just takes like a nail, just like
Dot.
Good. I'm good.
Oh, this is Witcher.
Okay, so you guys head out and head east and make your way to the public
Another
bathhouse.
round or...
So this place, Port Nyanzaru itself is actually a very clean city for the most part because it can, you know, the rain comes through very regularly, and the residents are usually, at least within the wall, right, are pretty scrupulous about like just keeping clean. Just because you're out in the jungle, you're in this area, it's hot and everything. That if you were to go be lax on your hygiene or whatever, that's a very quick breeding ground for bacteria and sickness and
You
so
will
on and so
catch you
forth.
death.
Yeah. So the public bathhouse, open to everyone, ostensibly run by the priesthood of Soon. Right? You head inside with these sort of tiled baths, these marble-floored changing rooms. It is both sort of elegant and also very functional and egalitarian in a way. Like, you know, it's...
No marble statues.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's just well made and inviting, but it's not ostentatious, right? So you head inside. The representative of the priesthood of Soon explains. You know, you go in. There's no charge. We ask that you leave a donation to our goddess. You know, and for the temple.
I show him my holy symbol of Soon, then leave a donation of 40 gold pieces.
Oh yeah, he sort of bows. Thank you so much. You know, please. At that point, please, you know, your companion here has shown an incredible generosity. Please, by all means, please come.
Oh,
in.
by the way, do you know somebody who can
biologist.
take care of my armor?
Ooh, there you go.
yeah. I was
So he takes a look at sort of the state of your armor. I believe we have some workers who can take care of that. If you will doff your armor at an appropriate location, we will fetch it.
if you just have a tub, I could wash it myself.
Your own armor.
Yes.
No, please allow us to take care of it. We'll already be servicing her armor.
You're very generous. And I'll throw in my own gold piece.
Yeah, I'll throw
Same.
a gold piece.
Throw
in.
gold in.
I will mime it, but not actually do anything.
So that thinking back, like, oh no, he gave me a gold piece.
You go when somebody else.
I saw his hand move in. He must have.
You have a gold piece on a string, and okay. So yeah, what you'd gather is kind of like a monk or a initiate or something like that. Somebody on sort of the lower rung of the priesthood. It takes you to one of these marble floored changing rooms and asks you to sort of doff your armor, and then he brings in two Chultan sort of teenage boys, basically, who are able to sort of lift up, kind of like that. They come in and they lift up the armor and everything, and they take that out and get ready to sort of scrub and purify it.
I will ask them to do ours first, since we have to leave sooner.
Okay, yeah. So they nod kind of wordlessly. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. The plate's going to take a little while, obviously.
just get some polish.
Gonna shrink.
Okay, so you head into the bathhouse proper. You can see that there are already several people here. I mean, some of them look like, based on the upkeep of their hair and their body and everything like that, they look like they're sort of on the upper class kind of side. And there are also some kids playing in the bathhouse and everything like that. It's very much a kind of public
communal
pool, sort of communal kind of atmosphere inside. You also see that off to the side are some what look like, based on the towels and the sort of urns with what you presume to be oil and perfume vials and things like that, there are like masseuses or sort of not quite chiropractic practitioners, but people who are sort of in that kind of vein are just hanging out to the side, available for bathers to presumably purchase their services.
Yeah, I'll do that after I'm done.
Yeah, we got time to kill.
Yep.
How naked is
Since we
everyone?
weren't invited.
There's
There's not
the
really
towel until
there's
you
not
get
a
in?
taboo about. Most people, when they are not in the bathhouse, have like some kind of
Towel.
something draped over them. But otherwise, if
Okay,
Once you-
so I
once
can
you get
take
in
off
the
all my
water.
common clothes and put them in a burn pile,
Yep.
and then just get in naked and clean, and then
they just have a big chute labeled "burn pile."
burn pile.
Because unless there's like a place where you pre-wash before you get in the communal,
Yeah,
I mean,
which there are some at.
yeah, I imagine there would be.
Yeah,
Spray off in the
Yeah.
strip down, spray off
They got a little
Put
waterfall or something.
clothes, and pile to burn, and then
Have the new stuff prepped and ready.
mm-hmm.
It's going to be a nice long bath. Then massage.
Imagine you're little enough that the massage takes 10 minutes, and they're like,
It's like half price.
should we keep going?
Or they have to work extra to
Right.
get through the scales.
Yeah,
And you got to work
That's
the
true.
tail.
That's true.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's what you need, a pretty fine brush to
That's
get
the-
on
yeah.
your scales.
Nice, happy
Very
ending with
coarse.
the tail
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
Well, I'll take a quick bath. Quick but thorough.
okay. So you guys take care of yourselves. You enjoy the ambiance and the warm water of the bathhouse. It's a very pleasant atmosphere.
I will pay one of the attendants 5 gold pieces to burn my old clothes.
Wow.
Do it yourself. What are you
I'll do it for one.
You give those
I'll
to
try.
the teenage boys. There's no need to waste 5 gold pieces on something you already assigned some people to.
Put them in a vending machine. People will buy them.
Yeah, in
In Japan.
Port Akibahara. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys get clean. There's
You'll
a
buy this bathwater too.
the ambiance of the place is a welcome relief after the sort of wading through the refuse pit.
Everything is welcome after
Yeah.
waiting through the rest of the refuse pit.
And so after that, you guys, you come back into sort of the changing room area, and you see that those boys were hard at work, making sure that your armor is clean. It's basically spotless at this point. In fact, there's a little bit of a touch of maybe rose water, maybe some kind of light,
Like lavender.
like a lavender or something like that. They've
Lavender's
applied.
probably
Not a
the
whole lot, but just
most.
enough to sort of
Bring it back to
mask
a nice
to bring it back to a kind of a neutral state rather than reeking of the stuff. You don your armor and you are ready to go.
All right.
Alright, so Lyonel and I go
So did the massage help my exhaustion?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see. No, you did want to pay for a masseuse.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, those
are
of us
the
who
rates?
aren't going to wherever it is.
Can I get a half
everybody else
off?
is probably going to stay for a while. I think Kyle.
What?
Lyonel and I was leaving.
Yeah, it's going to be those two who are in and out.
So you
real
guys
quick,
are kind of
and
staying there.
everybody
for
else
the
is
most
going to be there for
Okay,
a bit
all
longer,
right,
yeah.
all right. So are you getting
Oh, yeah.
massage as well? Okay, so one gold piece for the two of you.
I got it.
Cool.
Okay. So let us see how well we do.
The whole time playing with the mechanical bird.
Yeah. Sir, could you leave that squeak, 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 squeak?
Your arms need to relax. Could you play with it then while
Can we get some kebabs?
Okay,
while I
so
watch?
you realize it's going to take sort of like, a couple of hours as they're really getting into sort of the deep tissue and like doing a lot of. You can hear some unfortunate cracking and things that have to be done. But at the end of that, your exhaustion will clear. Your level of exhaustion will clear.
Totally worth it.
Instead of waiting for
Just worth it for the level up.
I thought the exhaustion went away after like a minute or
No, you have to do a
You have to
long
long
rest.
rest.
Full long rest,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, exhaustion is brutal.
Or take a 6-hour, high intensity massage.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
I
like
don't have time to do that, so I
greater
guess I'll do it once.
restoration.
Something like that.
It's surprisingly high up there
for what?
for removing exhaustion.
So, with the sun still high in the sky, Lyonel, you, and Ruby make your way towards the Merchant's Ward, heading towards the Merchant Via sort of area that's near Golden Throne, which you know to be sort of the public meeting house. Not public, excuse me, but the meeting place for all the merchant princes. They all gather there and decide notions of public policy and like economic policy and that sort of thing. You know that generally speaking, people would be heading to Golden Throne to meet merchant princes if they didn't have an appointment. But you, Jessamine is expecting you, so you know where to head. Alrighty then. So, of course. All right. So you make your way up the sort of
Private path.
hewn path, heading up to the via that was helpfully pointed out by a nearby citizen as that's
there.
Jessamine's. Yeah, you don't want to go there because that Quayoth is over there. You want to go to Jessamine's there. So you head up there. You make your way up the sort of small steps up to the door, and sure enough, there are two Chilton men in leathers. They're each carrying like Yikuwa, right? Sorry. It is it's a 3-foot wooden shaft with a steel or stone blade up to 18 inches long. So it's like, it's kind of imagine
Like a halberd?
kind of like a halberd, yeah, but more sort of rustic, kind of like there's a tribal quality to it. It's a weapon native to the region, right? And they are each sort of at attention, seeing you approach. The two of you anyway.
I will nod to them and hand them the bounty that was given to us by Jessamine.
You see, he sort of, with a mechanical, military kind of precision, takes his Yikuwa and hands it to the other guard, and then takes it.
We have come to show her that we have finished.
He turns to the other guard and sort of does a curt nod, and then turns back to you. Follow me.
And I'll talk to him in Chilton until I know they speak common.
Well, he said that in common, so
Okay.
you knew like automatically. They must have at least some rudimentary understanding
There's what I already got.
to receive visitors and things like that. So he leads you back. He leads you inside, and you see that in a beautifully adorned lobby kind of area with these bright murals, patios, arcades festooned with fresh flowers, beautifully plastered walls. Like it's the exact sort of it's almost a whiplash aesthetically from being in the old city and now this. There are these sort of, you can see these enormous cisterns in places that are equipped with water wheels, which in turn power fans and fountains, and these weird kinetic sculptures made out of like bronze and metal and other metals. There's a big garden courtyard kind of open to the sky. And you are immediately on fire. Cool. There is.
Sweet.
It's funny how that happened.
3 assassins appear.
On the
Not
way,
my fault this time.
On the way over, I will probably tell Lyonel everything I know about the Merchant Prince Jessamine as a way to caution him about everything we say can and will be held against us.
I know of quite a few mean-spirited contributors to the university.
It's not so much mean-spirited as it is authority. And
They have a lot of sway in your future.
She has
as
a
you
lot
can
of
say.
sway in whether or not we live or die.
A future.
Whether or not we have one, yes.
I'm trying to use a euphemism.
Okay, all right.
As the guard is taking you up sort of the circular stairs here up to the upper level, you notice that taking a little bit of time to look at sort of the details of the murals and the pillars and everything like that in the area, you notice that all of them are painted or sort of adorned with these colorful serpent depictions. And similarly, some of the stone fountains and fonts and everything that you see are embedded into the wall or below you also have got kind of a similar serpentine sort of motif.
Can I tell if any of them are like really old, like kind of like more historical than like more modern?
Give me a perception check, since you don't have time to sort of go back down and like stare at it.
It's not like I have a lot of Chultan history for art. Oh, that's a natural one, so I get to re-roll that one.
You
So
enjoy
perception,
that trait way too much.
15.
15. Well, to your eye, it looks. It's hard to tell whether or not these plinths and fonts and everything like that and all this stuff is old, because it looks like it has been
At least well
immaculately
maintained.
well maintained.
Yeah.
So even if it were old, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It all just looks new to you.
That'd still be impressive if they were old and this well maintained.
You know, based on the information that Ruby has given you, that these villas have been around for a long time, because the Merchant Princes have been around for a while. So it's entirely possible that the wear and tear has just been sort of fixed and sanded away and everything. Maybe somebody comes by on a sort of a weekly basis just to, like, correct
For repairing.
issues. Yeah. So you head upstairs, and the guard takes you into a furnace. Oh, sorry.
Oh boy.
I mean, I am childlike, right?
You are eating me. You're still dressed as a child, right? From when I disguised you as a small child.
He's taken a bath since then.
But maybe he liked the clothes and he wants to keep wearing them because it was a good disguise that never came into play whatsoever. You were just dressed as a child.
So this guard
Didn't hear any voice,
leads
so
you.
it enticed me to go into the pit.
God damn it!
Image issues?
There we go. So this guard leads you into this room here, opens the double doors, and you can see inside that you've actually been led into a library. You can see that there's all kinds of leather-bound and finely embroidered's not the right word, embossed titles on the side. The whole place looks like a sort of a studied Victorian kind of drawing room, and there are some comfortable chairs to sit in, and so you're asked by the guard to sort of wait while Jessamine is called for, prepared, summoned, and everything like that. Make sure that everything's ready. Otherwise, you, Lyonel, and Ruby are left inside and sort of to wait.
If there's an art piece or something, I'll probably just stand and kind of contemplate it.
There is a one of those strange kinetic sculptures that it looks like a sort of one of those kind of, there's a cistern built into sort of the side of the wall that's being fed by like rainwater or collections of some kind that is then turning this. It looks like a warrior, but he's got in a kind of a wireframe sort of look style, holding a kilwa, but on where the blade would be, it looks like basically the top of a parasol, and it is sort of continuously spinning.
I will just kind of slowly take stock of the room while waiting, not trying to investigate anything per se, but just like noticing the things around the room, the books, but trying deliberately not to look like I am
Scoping
or sneaking,
Fly casually.
Yeah.
You take a look around. It's just like the rest of the via.
That's the word. Situational awareness.
It's well maintained. It is well furnished, and the place looks like it is the result of someone with class having come in and say, "This is what this room should look like." Down to the finest detail.
You gonna stay up here this time?
Set decoration.
After 10 minutes. You hear a knock on the door, a quick rap, 1, 2. The door opens, and that same guard is here and gestures you, "Follow me this way."
Of course.
And you are brought to the one of the adjoining rooms. You're led down the hallway here and head into this room here. Inside, you see that there are these large lattice-covered windows. The potted plants are just swaying as there's sort of a gentle breeze is being filtered in. You see a master bed smack dab in the middle of the room. You can see the headboard fantastically carved in with these sort of serpentine motifs. You see off to the side of these rooms are what looks like, based on the open doors or the bead curtains, a small private bath, a walk-in closet that you can see is filled with all manner of sort of fine clothing, mirrors, combs, that sort of thing. And you see that inside the bed, actually, sort of firmly kind of tucked in, if you will, is a figure in billowy robes and tightly wrapped black bandages. You can see sort of the eyes peering out, but otherwise it looks like the majority of this person's body is covered in some kind of fabric or bandage or of some kind.
Mm-hmm. She is. Okay.
So the guard sort of nods to you to acknowledge you both, and then leaves and shuts the door.
He wants to get on them, but he doesn't want to commit.
I will approach and bow appropriately.
Yeah.
You come to the side of the bed, and you see that this head sort of turns to you and acknowledges the bow.
Lyonel Tealeaf.
Ruby. And I'll ask her in Chultan, are you more comfortable in speaking in our language, or would you like to, are you okay with common? My companion does not speak Chultan.
She responds in common, "It matters not."
We have completed the task you set to us, and I will bring out the little trinkets we found at the refuse pit. There was no remains of the children, but we found these.
She extracts from the bedding a bandaged hand, tightly wrapped black bandages with a billowy robe over it. You can see that as the robe sleeve slides away from her arm, more bandages, black bandages, all the way down. And she grabs a hold of
I'll make sure to give her the one with the necromantic magic on it, too.
the trinkets, takes a look at these things,
That was also the bird.
toys with them for a moment, even sort of pulls the leg a little bit to get the wings to fly on the bird sculptures. Good.
We did think that we should take baths and change clothes before we came to see you, though, because no one wants that smell.
I'm sure my staff appreciates that. You may take this.
Back.
Please, have a seat.
Is she gesturing to the end of her bed, or
She's gesturing to some nearby,
chairs?
sort of, not quite a chair, but more like an ottoman or something that you can sort of...
Just perch on the edge of it.
I'll sit down.
See, I'm already seeing why you didn't invite Takde, because the bird thing. And then inviting you to sit down, Emanuel would have
What is
gone
that
to bed.
noise?
It's also better for
You,
her to not
so you
know
see
how
that
to
as the two of you sit down, she, with it looks like some effort, sort of puts herself like against the headboard to sort of raise herself to speak in a more sort of formal fashion to you. The restoration work on Kaya's House of Repose is running smoothly, thankfully.
It's good to hear.
Yes, it is. I appreciate what you've done for the residents of the old city. They were quite distraught by the thought of their children going missing. Anyone would. Unfortunately, my people tell me that none of the children were recovered. Is that correct?
That is correct. We could find no traces of them.
Unfortunate. I will be brief and to the point. There is a certain entertainment coming up that I have not had the the energy
Getting him in the good spot.
or the attention to deal with at the moment. I would like you, as part of your payment, to handle that for me. Are you familiar at all with the regular races of the dinosaurs?
Can I just assume I am?
Yes.
The Triceratops.
Yes, I am.
You know that one of the larger, more important races of the season is coming up. 2 days, in fact. I have not had the opportunity to have jockeys selected for this race. I want...
I was thinking
Yeah.
race, right? Like,
No, yeah. It's
Oh, no, like a literal
dwarf,
race.
elf,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a Triceratops race.
Now I got it. It's a race war.
I expect a small complement of your party to act as jockeys in my employ, my stead. Normally I would have my agents
You have a jockey?
arrange for this, but in other similar matters, but the race is of a particular interest to me, and so I select my jockeys personally. But as you can see, things have been difficult in terms of mobility.
We would be happy to do that for you.
I'm glad because I wasn't asking.
I chuckle a little.
I want you to head down. You'll leave this place. Head to the dinosaur. Fuck! I'm sorry, my brain is not working today.
Stable?
Head to the stabling areas for the dinosaurs. Tell them that I sent you.
Do you have a writ
You,
for identification?
If they need a writ.
you, the small
Yes.
one.
I pull out like some paper and a quill.
That won't be necessary. Head to that cabinet there on the side of the room. You'll see inside on the second shelf, you'll see a scroll already marked with a wax seal. Take that with you. That is a representation of my authority.
I'll stand up and fetch it.
Show this to the stable master. He will connect you with the proper racing animals, and then in 2 days' time, you will be given. Yeah, the
stable master will give you more instructions, and then in 2 days' time you will be racing for me, and you will win. Or I will never see you again.
Understood.
I'm happy with both of these outcomes.
I'm glad we understand each other.
Your butt sliding.
I only bring this up in case it is of interest to you, but we have intentions to go into the jungle and find
To make a map.
Ararak, a demi-lich, and put a...
Who?
Sarah I think.
I wrote it down, but I can't pronounce it.
Serac. The
A
soul
Serac?
long.
A Serac.
A Serac, yeah.
I wrote it down badly, I'm sorry. And put an end to this death curse.
There is an unusual amount of silence in the room. It is uncomfortably long, like just a little bit too long of a pause of silence. And then you hear this woman, who you presume to be Jessamine, sort of lightly, crackily laughing.
Yeah, I figured. But, you know.
How stupid are you?
Stupid enough to try.
There is a part of me, despite my usual cynicism, that does appreciate that. I have an interest in these strange goings-on in the jungle.
He's just going to see how close you're reeling him get.
We could always use a great benefactor.
If you win this race for me, you can consider my help in your investigations in the wilderness secured.
Thank you.
Do another bow.
I should also note that the winner of this upcoming race will earn a decent amount of prize winnings in the process, and so the initial funding for your expedition will be considerably eased. I don't want you to think I'm not generous.
I would never think that.
Very good. If there's nothing further, please leave.
Thank you.
Another
Bow
bow.
and
That quick turn.
politely fast walk out of the room.
Shuttle.
Okay, you see that the guard has been standing outside the whole time against the door, sees the two of you approach, and then, escorts you downstairs and out of the vehicle. Now, you hear the door sort of firmly shut, and you are outside on that same hewn path in the middle of the day, sort of outside of you.
We should talk when we're farther away from the field. Let's just keep going right now.
Hopefully one of us will be a good jockey.
Oh god, I hope so. If
Okay,
we're not a good jockey, we're all gonna die.
You pass the gates.
It sounds
you
like we can
are-
have multiple riders.
I'm an NYM.
You pass the
Yeah, you
gates,
might be
you are
fast.
back on the streets, and you find that you are far away from sort of... You make distance between yourself and the Golden Throne area, Merchant's Ward.
At least we have 2 days to get our feet in the saddle.
Yes,
If it takes you 2 days, you're probably not going to win. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there.
Fair.
We'll head back to the bathhouse.
Well, there's
yeah?
also
Well,
feet in
actually,
the saddle and then
we should get them from the bathhouse first before we go to the stables if we're all going to ride.
yes. If we can see who will be most suited.
Well, I know that the money will motivate Wooks to at least attempt.
Get paid.
I don't know if Takde can... We'll have to see how Takde size impacts the animal.
I figure I can stay on the beast. Maybe controlling the beast might be a little different.
I was wondering about that with Takde as well.
So you
Unless they
all
get a velocity.
converge again back on the bathhouse. Your exhaustion has been cleared. Everyone is clean and well-scented,
Properly massaged.
massaged, oiled,
Your tail feels great.
moistened. You are all good to go. You feel like the best versions of yourselves.
Except us. We're just clean.
And so Ruby and Lyonel sort of relate this information to you, that it looks like Jessamine is asking us to win a upcoming dinosaur race for her, which in turn will provide the party with money so that they can begin their expedition into the jungle searching for a Serac of the Soulmonger. Right.
Well, I'm not happy with this turn of events, but since I had a massage, I'm in a much better.
You feel better? Yeah, I like it. All right, well.
I can make do.
So, where to next?
Stable.
Okay.
He just couldn't stand his brother crying.
Brother! So,
Don't
you
forget about him
make
and
your
come back.
way.
Meandering back now.
See?
All right, he's still alive.
You make your way to the dinosaur pens. Here, you head west. You make your way through the gate. And you actually head out into the Tiriki Anchorage part of the city, and head to the dinosaur pens. You can see that there, as you approach, there are these sort of wide open spaces that have been sort of fenced in 2-3-fold to make sure that they are sturdy enough to withstand a giant sort of dinosaur hoof, if you will. You can see ankylosauruses and triceratops that are just sort of milling about. They're being fed. Some of them are being sort of lightly tugged and it looks like trained to by handlers. And you see that they are there's quite a lot of them here, and it looks like that this is sort of the main place that a lot of the dinosaur beasts of burden are trained, regardless of whether they are racing animals or helping out in to
Pulling
lift
carts
things
or
at the
working.
dry docks, or if they're pulling carts, whatever they may be. Okay. So what now, gang?
And then
We need to
the
find
Lionel
this.
has it, right?
Yes, we need to find the stable master, or
I will ask if I can have the thing in case. I imagine they speak common, but in case they don't, I'll start the conversation in Chilton.
it'd be a poor port to not be able to speak common, but
So I'll take the
Yeah.
thing with Jessamine's authority and approach whoever appears to be the stable master or stable hand.
Are we looking for like the best dressed person here, or the person who's like
not
In
work, not doing.
overalls and just
The
getting
dirtiest
down to work?
person.
Yeah.
Don't wrap yourself around.
Okay, so Lyonel, you sort of, kind of peer out. You see that some of the trainers, who generally speaking are all wearing kind of similar garb, like a poncho style and some leathers and things like that. You see one that sort of strikes your eye, and you head over there chiefly because most of the trainers here are Chultan human beings. But you see that there is one, what looks like an elven man, dressed in, towards the Port Nyanzaru kind of the Chultan fashion, but with a light complexion and very different from sort of the rest of the complement of handlers there.
He kind of looks more the management type, the
Okay.
one that they brought in.
So I will. I guess you want to approach him and come with me.
Hello, we are here on behalf of the merchant prince to look at her beast for the race.
There's a slight sort of raise of the eyebrow.
As I like,
I
have the-
assume you have some form of her.
I'm holding
Yes,
that
very good. Thank you.
still sealed.
Yes, this appears to be an order. Very good. Allow me to make your acquaintance. I'm Allah.
Lyonel Tealeaf. This is Ruby. This is Takde, Wooks. And we got
Whatever that one is.
Piere, and then Emanuel. Because for some reason I have the names in like two different places.
If you'll forgive me a question, why the motley crew? Yeah, for such a simple task.
It is what Jessamine wishes.
What?
It is what Jessamine wishes.
We owe her a debt.
I see. To have all 6 of you when one would do.
Yes.
Very strange.
We do not know who will be riding the beast in the race as of yet.
I mean, you're welcome to take it up with her.
I don't think that. I'd rather not. I believe.
Classy.
It's usually that Jessamine sends one person, highly competent, and that person is highly effective, as opposed to a group of you. Don't get me wrong. There's room for you, and you're more than welcome to avail yourselves to the saddles, if you will. But it's just a simple question. I hope there was no fails. Now, please come inside. We shall head to sort of the main stable area, and we shall each of you try a sort of a jockeying position, see if it works for you. So he leads you inside. You're stepping around. You're making your way sort of in a kind of a serpentine fashion to try to avoid sort of dinosaur shit and like
the
big rocks, and like you can see that sort of some triceratops, like one of them is actively bucking, and you're trying to sort of scoot out of the way. You are fed into the stables, and sure enough, there are a series of differently colored.
He's just so excited to be out.
Differently colored triceratops, and also kind of sort of large raptor-like dinosaurs available. Each of them has like bridled and with a saddle in place, and they are inside these sort of pens. Now then, I presume this is to do with the community race in 2 days. Is that correct?
Yes.
I will say first that these particular beasts, are not are top of the line models, but you understand that they are for training purposes only. Very good. Now, who would like to volunteer to go first?
Quickly raise my hand.
Very good. Now, is there a particular beast that you prefer?
It doesn't matter to me.
She, the elf, he opens up the gate, and sure enough, this Triceratops sort of like slowly waddles out. Clearly intended to be like, this one is highly trained. Right? Closes the gate and then offers you the reins and gestures towards the saddle. Please.
I just first walk up and just kind of pet it and touch it and kind of let it know I'm not.
For the first time in my life, that's an animal handling check.
Hey. We've waited so long for this day.
11?
I mean, could be worse.
You can see that the Triceratops is not upset by your presence, but it's also like, as you are sort of stroking its face, it is not even looking at you, it's just sort of staring out with some
it just doesn't notice.
steam coming out of its mouth, so it's indifferent, basically.
Okay,
I
that's
have
fair.
an inch thick leathery skin. I don't feel that.
What were the options? Triceratops and raptors?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think I could fit on a Triceratops. The saddle might be like too big. Yes.
You need the equivalent of like a
Like the
Shetland
pony,
pony
yeah.
for dinosaurs.
How many
I think I'm
raptors?
going to go with the smaller, bitey one.
Is it 3 and 3? Or
It's currently 3 and 3. Yes.
sweet, I can have a raptor. I want a raptor.
This is the only reason that we're playing this campaign. Obviously.
Riding raptors, come on, man.
Yeah.
So I put my saddle on, slowly kind of get up onto it, make it easy and not pushing anything too hard.
You see, the elf is still sort of like, not actively touching you, but sort of like holding his hands out, like ready to sort of catch you if you get bucked. Alright, now what I want you to do is to, as quickly as you can, if you will use the reins to direct the dinosaur to the end of the stables there and back here. Is that clear?
Yes.
Then by all means, show us your technique.
Just jauntily steer it off to the side.
Roll another animal handling check.
13.
13. So you pull on. There's a little bit of initial difficulties. You're just trying to come to grips with this animal and like how responsive he is to reins being pulled and like everything. But he quickly trots along. It's like a speed jog, if you will. Makes its way, turns back around, and you see that Allah gives you a sort of a quiet nod. Good. Not as exceptional, some of the first-time jockeys that I've seen, but also not in any way injurious to you. So all in all, an excellent outcome. Who is next?
I'll go.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just really excited about the dinosaurs. Sorry, guys.
And so he offers you the reins to the Triceratops again, please.
Can I wrap it?
I don't see that not.
Hey, what do I roll to see if Ruby's done this before?
Dogs are here again.
Do you want him to move?
Yeah.
Piere, go ahead and go.
You alright,
Okay.
Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here?
Triceratops is fine with me.
Okay, yeah, so you get on. Well, first roll an animal handling check to see how it responds to you.
Build a little wall for him.
18.
18, very good. So you approach, and instantly there's a kind of a simpatico sort of wavelength that the two of you are on. You go to touch the dinosaur, and it doesn't flinch, it doesn't tighten up. You don't feel the skin sort of getting taut. It seems like it's perfectly comfortable with you.
I'm
Okay.
here. I'm fine. That's fine. That's fine.
You mount the saddle, and sure enough, Allah gives you the same spiel to the end and back as fast as possible. Make another animal handling check. This time with advantage.
Oh.
Building a reputation. Oh, cool.
23. 20 on the die.
So, with a quick pull of the
16
reins,
and a 20.
it shoots off and skidding around with sort of like dust kicking up and continues to come back. And Allah is giving you sort of a light kind of golf clap and enjoying it. Very good, very good. That was
I
quite
think we found our first candidate.
quite a journey.
Well,
Takes off like a rocket, doesn't it? Yeah. Very good. Next, please. I dare say you might be a natural.
I'll like try to like get up and realize up. Like the first stirrup's like probably like above my head.
No. He sort of reaches out and like sort of puts you back on the ground. No. Let me accommodate you. And he moves over to sort of one of the shorter raptors and like opens that pen. And you can see that this one is a little bit more sort of twitchy and unsteady than say the Triceratops is, who's been very sort of tortoise-like calm for the most part.
These ones have a little bit more personality
Yes,
to them.
these are a little bit more aggressive is not probably the right word. Forward, shall we say. Now, as you can see, it'll be a little bit easier to get onto this saddle, so I'll hold the reins here, if you would, please. Now, roll an animal handling check for me.
Woo!
To see how well you mount.
20, not natural.
Very good. So this thing is now, because of the center of mass is sort of lower now, you're able to sort of hop on smoothly, and sure enough, the raptor, there's a little bit of sort of like kind of twitching and sort of
Just like
movement
getting used to
around
my
as it's
weight.
getting used to your weight. Yeah, but otherwise, it seems pretty comfortable for you and for it.
Hey, he doesn't want you to go.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Okay, now roll with advantage because your animal handling went so well.
20, not natural.
Very nice. Again, now this thing, based on what you saw, the Triceratops was pretty fast, but this thing takes off. Yeah, in fact, you find it difficult to, like, you have to, like, grab and hold onto the reins
really get in.
just to, like, prevent from being sort of bucked off of this thing as it shoots off and comes back. Allah is sort of looking at you sort of admiringly, thinking, well, we don't get very many of your kind of jockey here regularly, so I'm actually impressed that you managed to stay on the beast at all.
Is it usually just one animal that runs in the race, or is any allowed to use?
If one animal was running in the race, then that would be very boring, wouldn't it?
One species.
But you win your bet.
It's a joke, my friend, yes.
Yes.
Multiple species of dinosaur are usually used during the race. The most common types are the ones you see here, Triceratops and Raptors. There are a number of more unusual choices made, but the benefits and the risks sort of end up balancing each other for the most part.
The more sure choices.
It is more the success rate is more concerned with the jockey's abilities rather than the innate abilities of the dinosaur. At least provided they are not enhanced in some way.
I see.
There have been complaints lodged against certain riders in previous years' events that have been, shall we say, somewhat shady. But I'm sure you wouldn't know anything about that, as he looks at all of you.
Dino does.
Very good, my friend. Now, would you need my help getting off?
I'll get off.
Very good.
Ooh.
All right, yes, we've done your... you've gone, and so have you, and Sir here. Who's next?
Do you want to attempt talk today?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be really interesting.
So
I'm the same
It's gonna
size
go
as you.
One way or the other.
I like hold the reins, see if you wish.
So Allah has already brought out one of the raptors for Lyonel's benefit.
What would I roll to see if I've done this before? As growing up in Schultz and everything.
I think it's fair to say you've interacted with dinosaurs before, so on your first animal handling check, take advantage of that, please.
Okay, sorry. Leon?
Leon,
Because you're a
Hey.
knave.
Leon, come here.
17.
17, yeah. So you have a kind of an understanding with these animals
Very good.
based on having lived in the area, and so you very quickly know, like, all right, I'm going to approach this thing. I'm not going to touch the neck area. I'm going to go with the sort of the flank side and everything like that, and try to lean into the creature's kind of twitchiness in a way that's sort of, letting it sort of feel the space out rather than trying to contain it. Yeah, and you're sort of like, hop onto the saddle pretty effortlessly, and you're ready to go.
Another one?
I knew there was something about you. You're from this area, are you not?
I am.
Yes. Well, this should be quite a picnic for you.
I'll just grin and talk and mention that for my birthday, my grandma always brought me in to ride dinosaurs.
Lovely.
Can I take advantage on it just to make sure I don't fuck it up?
No, you already have advantage
Yeah.
because
Oh, I
your
do?
first
From
one
the
went so well.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That is not natural 20.
Very good. Okay. Again, kicks off. Sand and rocks sort of spraying out and turning around, and sure enough, you've one of the fastest times available. Allah sort of looks at you and does a brief clap. And, I'm surprised to see that your grandmother must have been a rather intense racer back in the day.
She's a lot of things.
I see. So she's still with us. Yes.
Yes.
Seems like we have a pretty strong group with us.
Do I have to get down?
I'm afraid so. Yes, we have the remaining of your compatriots. You and you there.
Stop playing with the bird again on the night.
So, which one of you shall go first?
I'll give it a
You
shot.
want me to hold your hand?
Sure.
Yes.
Takes half of Takde's
Yes. Very good. We wouldn't want that to be trampled.
Fly off.
Do you require any assistance mounting the beast, or
I will slide off the dinosaur
Probably.
and I'll just kind of stand beside you to help if you want me
he sort
to.
of very delicately puts
Okay.
his arms underneath underneath your pet areas and just sort of lifts you up onto the raptor. Very good. Yes.
Thank you.
Animal handling check, please.
Should bring over like a stepping stool.
Natural 20.
All right.
Very nice.
Nice.
The raptor doesn't even notice you. It's like your weight and your stature. It's like wearing nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
It's like the raptor doesn't even know that you're there. But that's excellent for you. Yeah. And so you see
Food
that
on my back.
you see that Allah sort of cocks his head slightly to the side. Well, no matter. Now, if you would
Strange.
please, to the end and back.
All right, we'll see if it is. 13.
13. So it's a little tough going as you sort of pull on the reins and you realize that
It didn't notice you were there.
it's not even like, it's not going. And so you really sort of, you wrap, around one wrist and
Get a good.
really yank, and this thing kicks off and shoots off down, but it's got kind of an unsteady sort of gait. It's a little sort of wobbly and reactive, right?
So you managed to make your way back, but it was quick, but not the smoothest ride possible. Well, that was to be expected, I think. Now, you may have to, because of your stature, you'll have to facilitate your handling of the animal in a different way than some of your more, what's the way to put this, normally sized?
Non-midgeted?
Your heavier companions, yes, will need considerably less force to direct the animal, you understand. I would suggest strengthening the wrist muscles. And you, good lady?
Okay. Alright, now instead of an animal handling check, can I do a persuasion check at disadvantage?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
See if you can whisper to the raptor, the triceratops.
The triceratops.
Don't make me look stupid in front of everyone, please.
Everybody else did okay at the very least. I need this.
Because we've had like 320s.
So that's a 16.
Okay, that's good. So you approach the triceratops. It's a little wary of you because you're a pretty tall woman. And
it speaks softly and Sylvan to it.
It sort of responds to it. I don't think it necessarily. It's understanding the intent and the tone of your voice, and so it's got its head kind of lowered, just in a calm, chill fashion. And so Allah helps you, guides you to your mount, and now it's time for you to make your check with animal handling. This is not negotiable, unfortunately, but you do have advantage because you did well.
Okay.
I mean, you can't be much worse than me in that case.
14.
14, yeah. So with a couple of fits and starts, but you managed to get through. You do about as well as Wooks did, I believe. Which is that it's a pretty steady speed jog, if you will, but you could stand to improve in terms of your handling of the animal. But not bad for as Allah himself says, for a crop of rookie jockeys. You've done quite well. I believe Jessamine has reason to be quite confident in the upcoming race. Now, I will say that if the usual crop of riders is there, you will have considerable competition, however. Are any of you familiar with the history and the culture of dinosaur racing? Are you in with the crowd, the news, if you will?
I just look at you.
Can I just roll?
Do we
and
roll
find
for
out?
this one?
I do
Can I
not
just
know
roll
the
and see?
current names, no.
As most of you are foreign to the area, this would be
difficult.
You wouldn't.
We
very
wouldn't have the
difficult.
base knowledge.
You wouldn't have the knowledge.
We don't know where I'm from yet. I might.
You're from somewhere.
You can roll history, but it'll be disadvantaged because
I've
it's
been
been
out of the
away
area.
for so long.
I mean, it's just a 6.
Yeah, I mean it's too. The news in the sort of dinosaur racing community moves so rapidly, every week or so, that good luck
Hard
keeping
to keep up, yeah.
Unless you're in it, keeping a finger on the pulse is difficult to do. Right. Just like any other sort of sport that is fast and competitive and is regularly gambled on.
Yeah.
Right. So he sees the lot of the party sort of kind of blankly staring and
Yeah.
obviously not sort of picking up what he's saying.
I know, there's nothing worse than someone who doesn't.
There is some of the finest riders that I've seen perform in these races are scheduled to ride in the race in 2 days. You'll be facing up against Tiriki, who I may have to remind you. You may be aware of this. The merchant prince Ekene Afa's son.
Okay. I probably have a vague recollection of this.
You will. There's an unusual, jaunty fellow, Kanka Keel. He's a dwarf, actually. He's a. I've certainly never seen it myself, but then again, I haven't been out in sort of dwarven lands very often. As far as I know, he's the only albino dwarf I've ever seen. He and, of course, Dark,
Dark is a rock gnome woman. Who usually rides an Allosaurus, of all things. Those would be the riders to watch out for. But of course, as with any of these races, in the past, if that's any indication, there have been dark horses, if you will, that have come in and whatnot. Actual horses, of course. That's a jockeying joke. It is entirely possible that someone completely unknown could sweep in and become the newest celebratory, the celebrant, if you will.
I think that would be us, most likely.
I should hope so. At least for your sakes.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you with? Now keep in mind that given the writ that you've shown me of Jessaming's authority, I will provide you with 2 of our finest riding animals. However, I'll need to know the composition of the animals, as in how many triceratops, raptors, what have you, what ratio, if you will. And I will need to know which of you are going to be the jockeys. That information I need to pass on to the
registrar.
The registrar, who also acts as a kind of stable master for the actual race itself.
So we're allowed to have a team of 2.
2 acting, yes.
So who wants to do it?
Yes, there are pairs involved, and these pairs are sponsored by either a merchant prince themselves or some well-to-do member of the cultural community.
I have +3 on animal handling.
As do I. Have +2.
And are we all proficient in it too?
No, nobody's proficient.
I'm proficient in it.
I got a +0, so no.
Same.
Yeah, I got a +2, but also have lucky.
That's true.
If I use enhance
you're just
ability
lucky in general,
on myself, because I'd have to be within proximity and concentrate.
If you
I
take
could
one
add
of your
to my
performance enhancing
I could
drugs,
I could do a wisdom, owl's wisdom, and have advantage on all animal handling checks.
Can you give that to somebody else though?
Distance wise, based on the race.
Well, it's touch, right? Or and then it's concentration. And I don't think you have to be in range after that, right? Probably not.
We'll have to double check it, but yeah.
But I'm already at 3, so I mean that would bump me up even more.
Yeah.
So Kyle and I are the only ones with proficiency in animal handling?
Well,
I don't know.
I think we have the same modifier.
Right, but I'm proficient in it too.
I'm not proficient, but I basically would be if I gave myself the wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's a +5.
Because I basically get a +4 to all the animal handling rules. Because I'm proficient and...
So that's not a +2, that's a +4.
I mean, you've grown up with them, so it makes the most sense for you to go in. And
Well,
then
plus,
it's
she's
just-
riding the Velociraptor no matter what. So.
Yeah, and
I mean, we know.
and then it's just filling
Sure
the
would
other
love
spot
to ride a
with
Velociraptor. But I
whichever
also
one
don't
of you
want
can
to
do the
suck,
best.
So.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they need to stay in range. It's just touch and
But if Wooks is the other one
For
doing it, then
enhanced
he needs to
ability.
cast it on himself. Only one of us needs to win.
I mean, I could enhance the dinosaur in some way as well. I could give it bear strength, and it can double its carrying capacity and just beat the shit out of the other
enlarge it
race.
or
Probably
something.
more than bear strength already.
Yeah,
Just enlarge the
I
creature.
know, but it doubles its
I
strength
was looking
and
at
its
that
carrying
one.
capacity.
had considered it.
I'd rather you just enhance yourself. I
Okay.
think we might get in trouble.
If we had a
enhance the
third
dinosaur.
spell slot, then I could do it to both of us, but I haven't gotten there yet.
That's cool.
I need another level to get there.
I mean, is everybody okay with Wooks and I doing it? Or does somebody else really want to?
I think it's a good combo.
Is anyone else really excited about the dinosaurs besides me?
No,
I think-
not at all.
I think it's a solid idea to have one legitimate rider and one who's not afraid to.
Burn the place down if we leave.
Be a little deceptive.
A little
Necessary.
headstrong.
Sure. Someone who's going to do anything to win.
Exactly. Because anything you do to win, as long as it doesn't directly affect her,
Right.
indirectly.
As long as I don't break my concentration, I'm solid.
As long as you don't take damage.
And I've got a lot of dexterity too, so if I get bucked around or anything.
Yeah, I've got strong dice.
Now,
Plus,
that being said, we are representing a merchant prince.
We don't want to do
so
anything untoward again. Or trouble.
Yeah.
Yes.
we are not juicing the animal, per se.
Isn't she also
That
kind of
being
a
said,
prince,
if
so,
we're
like,
gonna get bucked
don't
off,
really
wouldn't
get
that be a
to-
strength save?
In theory,
Yeah.
Acrobatics, athletics.
athletics
It
would lean
depends.
more into
Might also
it,
be
yeah.
like constitution, but not.
Usually
More
it's
strength.
it's strength for those, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably should have said this after we came back from seeing Jasmine. I won't. Ruby probably wouldn't mention that she was sick
Yeah.
because that's secretive knowledge.
Yep. If you want to get murdered, feel free to
Exactly.
let it fly.
So, I'm not sure that's knowledge your characters have.
No, it's not, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Because otherwise, I mean, we send the two of you in there. One of you is going to end up killing her.
Right?
No.
I wouldn't kill her. I
I
would just
don't-
try to take her for everything she's worth.
I don't kill people.
Just for being old.
I mean, how did my character become evil? I just
Stopping the greater evil,
You're
right?
so-
no. That's not how that works.
the moment you were super religious.
I mean,
Ugh.
she does not solve everything with violence. Come on.
It's true.
No, she solves more things with sex than violence.
Well, she hasn't
The two
solved
things.
problems
She
with
just has
it.
a lot of love.
Okay,
to do.
so
It's all right.
what's the makeup? So you got to decide like
I think it's me and
What
Ruby
are our
Wooks.
dinosaur choices? We have the
Ruby
Triceratops and
Wooks.
Raptor, obviously.
there are as Allah informs you, there are multiple choices because the race that's going to happen in 2 days is what they refer to as an unchained race, which means that 4 legs, 2 legs, it doesn't matter. Like
It's
it
open
just-
category.
It's basically an open category. Yeah. So there are Triceratops are available. The Allosaurus, as was mentioned, was written by Dark, the gnome, is available. Deinonychus, which is sort of like a kind of a feathered raptor, like that's equivalent to what you were
He's going to say
writing before.
last just to make you.
There is a Dimetrodon.
Oh, those are cool. How would you ride that with the big ridge on its
between.
back?
Yeah.
in between ridges.
A good saddle.
At the around the neck, I guess.
Okay.
So there is the Dimetrodon. Whoops. There is the Hadrosaurus. And the Hadrosaurus, by the way, is it's more like a bulky kind of lizard. It's meant to be on 2 legs actually, but it can be on 4 legs. Like it's
Like when it's just like
it's just
cruising and
it's like a very
walking.
it's a very generic dinosaur. Let's just go ahead and put that. And a young Tyrannosaurus.
Oh,
Do any of these have advantages and disadvantages that we would need to know?
Why,
about?
yes.
Well, of course.
that young T-Rex sounds like it's going to be like
That's
very
what-
strong.
That's what I'm licking my lips
What?
now.
You better say Velociraptor.
Velociraptor is not available
That's
for
the-
racing dinosaurs.
It's
It's a little too small.
the D one. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Deinonychus.
Alphasaurus.
Deinonychus gets actually fairly large, so
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
a larger version.
That's
of
the
it.
close.
Yeah.
That's the raptor looking one.
That's the-
So yes, there are differences. They each
Different from
have
World of Warcraft.
they each have different
Custom.
speeds, right? Obviously, some of them are slower and some of them are faster than others. There is a. They each have different sort of
Constitution.
DCs, if you will, for animal handling skill checks to even sort of respond well in the first place. Different ACs, different hit points, different constitutions, which is important because
for continuous sprinting.
the basic mechanics of the race are like you can go sort of if you successfully make your animal handling check, then the animal is going to go as far as its normal speed. But if you want it to go at sort of its maximum speed, you got to like sort of prod it and whip it and like get it to go. And if that's the case, then the dinosaur is going to have to make a constitution check to see if their speed doesn't drop in half afterwards because they're exhausted by the extra effort. Right.
Burst.
So,
Run out of carrots.
if you will, yes. So there are things to consider about like just how do you want a high constitution dinosaur that you can push it more often? Do you want all speed and like no sort of stamina? Like it just depends on what you're looking for. Now, the most common are again Deinonychus and Triceratops.
What are the stats for the Deinonychus?
The Deinonychus.
You know you're picking it either way.
I probably am.
Just take it. You don't even need to know.
The Deinonychus goes 40/60. So again, 40 for a normal, and then 60 if you push it. A 12 DC for the skill check, right?
That's not bad.
However, if an animal handling check made with advantage due to lashing, that's what you do when you sort of get it to
Push
go
it.
that. So if it fails by 5 or more, the animal goes berserk and is out of the race.
Nice. That would be fun.
I mean, we're riding dinosaurs. That's gonna.
Yeah.
Sure.
The AC is 13, hit points 26, and then
also
Constitution is
strong.
14, which is a +2 modifier, so not bad.
Not quite terribly strong.
But again, there's that risk of failing considerably,
Losing its
it'll
mind.
just freak out and
Buck.
I wonder
I
if you
think
fell
that's-
considerably with the T-Rex that tries to eat you.
That's what I want. I want to know about the T-Rex.
You or another rider.
the Tyrannosaurus is 50/100 in
Tiny
terms of
arms the whole
speed.
time.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
The skill
They were
check
ambush
DC is an
predators.
18.
And
What is an 18?
scavengers.
The skill check DC.
Skill check, yeah.
That's
So
like a lot
it
of
is hard
animals.
to handle.
You want to be a scavenger? Sure. Just free meat. It's free real estate.
The AC is 13. The hit points are 46.
I got this carcass
And the
here all
Constitution
day.
is
Just
70.
letting it go.
So for more speed and better Constitution, you're dealing with a very high DC to clear in terms of the skill check. 'Cause it takes considerable skill and effort to basically
will it.
to will a young T-Rex, basically.
Sure.
to do
Very,
its
very
business.
hard-headed.
It's Charizard.
Yeah.
Teenager T-Rex. You're not my real dad.
What
My
is-
real dad was killed by a comet.
What is the Triceratops, just for comparison?
Triceratops is 50/75.
Okay,
That's not
so it's
bad.
The
faster.
skill check DC is 14. It is AC 13, 38 hit points, and its Constitution is 15, which is a +2 modifier. So, kind of middle of the road, right?
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I will go ahead and show you, I'll go ahead and
Yeah,
show
drop
this
that.
so
We
you
could
can
just
see.
On the screen. Enhance.
That's a bit much.
Right down
Let me
there.
just-
Okay, so our speedy guy is the T-Rex. As far as,
Assuming
the
you can
most
control
if
it.
you can control it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really this.
Yeah. That 18.
Wow, it's 16 for the Allosaurus.
Yeah.
I know, I'm looking at the Allosaurus. It's a speed of 50, 80. Higher
really
skill check.
You also get a pretty decent attack, though, which is... You...
Will that come in?
You know,
Oh,
Ruby,
yeah.
that these races, especially the Unchained ones, are unchained in a different way. In that, if you have the ability to kick a rider off or use a dinosaur to attack another rider's dinosaur, that's technically legal.
Okay.
Frowned upon, but technically legal.
So it's not like you use a weapon while
Yeah.
riding. It's you do
No,
the shoulder
none
bash.
of the jockeys are armed. However, the dinosaurs
Are armed.
teeth are always armed, and you can jockey.
nuns.
Yeah, exactly. You can sort of jockey them off.
Just
you know.
need a
That
pit
is
maneuver.
right in the middle. Kind
It's
of
not.
nice.
Damn it, it's not as good as the other ones.
Well, but it's
That check
he doesn't
makes
really
it
have a weakness either.
Yeah, that check makes it just solid all the way
Yeah.
through, though.
Yeah, but if you can get a skill check of 16 and use the Allosaurus, it goes faster and has a higher
Yeah,
attack.
but look at that skill check.
Yeah.
That's why I was looking at the
Because
the
even
young
if you just go
Triceratops.
Triceratops
Either.
50, if you don't push it, that's more than most of the other ones.
Oh, and the Allosaurus, Deinonychus, and the Triceratops all have that fail by 5. The animal goes berserk.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you fail that 16, it's
If you fail it by 5
5.
or more,
Yeah.
It's over.
11.
it's over. You're out of the
Yeah.
race. Right? Yeah.
Triceratops is pretty good. It
Yeah.
looks like.
It's reliable, right? It's not going to go berserk. It's just going to not
18 is so
slow
high.
down.
Yeah.
18 is so high, Kyle.
But think about it.
We have advantage.
Now, let
we
me
have
just-
we have all this force.
Let me
in
just
here,
go ahead
too,
and
to
say
be fair.
that Jessica wants you to win. Not come in second,
Win.
not
No.
come in
Win.
fourth, not lose, but win the race.
So if it goes berserk, it's just out of the race. It's not going to try to kill me, right?
If it's Triceratops,
berserk.
maybe.
It depends on the context of the
How,
situation.
how much I fail by?
I don't know. It depends on if it's really agitated, if there are other bystanders nearby, if it's been hurt. There's a whole host of things to consider. But it's not impossible. These creatures are already, for the most part,
Dangerous.
on the razor. They're dangerous. They're on the razor's edge of
Plus, it's not like it just refuses to comply. It goes berserk.
it goes berserk.
Could
Yeah.
we use that day in between the race and where we are now
Oh, you're definitely
to
going to
meet
be
our
training.
dinosaur and be training with it?
To what end?
To
Maybe
maybe
lower some of these DCs.
No, not to lower the DCs, but at least get a chance to try to bond with your creature and practice.
Yeah,
Would that be
that's
advantageous
reasonable.
to any,
Yeah.
you know?
Be less likely to be the one nibbled upon
Right.
if it goes poorly.
Exactly.
Yeah, be like, you're not bad.
You don't
Everybody
wanna
else,
eat
though.
So
I might nibble that person, but not this one.
I say one Triceratops and one something else.
I was going to go with an Allosaurus.
Yeah, I'm thinking the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Go.
Except that's
We want it. We
skill
have
check.
to win.
Yeah.
Not
No.
But look at the skill check.
not come close.
16
I-
is
And
rough.
that's to like keep control of
I
it.
have a.
Now,
You get
Or is that to like push it further? It's
if
the
you
skill check.
if you miss the skill check, you're just not going to be. You're not going to gain any ground.
But
if you're not going to the 80, you're
you
still at the
maintain
50.
pace?
No. What I'm saying is that you don't move.
You don't move.
Plus, the Allosaurus is one of the ones that goes berserk, right?
So if you don't,
Yeah.
if
So
you
if you're
roll
still
a
an
miss, that's
11
not
or
bad
below,
most of the
it'll go
time.
berserk.
If,
Well,
if
plus
you
you
can
got
think
3, right? Or
16,
I have a +4.
So it'd have to be a 7 or lower, or a 6 or lower. Actually,
I will
Seven
go
was
ahead
right
and
at
give you sort of
33% or what?
The
you also have
details,
30%
the
like a
mechanical
50%
details.
to actually move
6
forward.
fortune.
Yeah, but I mean, how long is this race going to be? I'm assuming more than a handful.
Because if he just said we have to make the skill check to actually move, that means you have to at
I
least
mean,
hit
you're
a
gonna
16
cheat
to
anyway,
actually move
so
forward.
yeah, go for the T-Rex.
yeah,
Every round, each rider makes an animal handling check. The DCs are different depending on the dinosaurs, right?
Every round.
With each successful animal handling check, the first number
I'd almost
listed
go Demetrodon.
as the dinosaur's speed, right, the base speed, is added to its running tally. If the check fails, the dinosaur's tally doesn't increase that turn. Instead, it stays the same.
Yeah, so you have to hit 16 to actually move.
Exactly. So it's not disastrous. It doesn't buck you off or kill you or anything. It's just that
I'd almost go Dimetrodon then, because even though its speed is slower, the DC
Very
is 8.
consistent.
You're almost
Yeah.
never going to
Yeah.
miss.
That's why I figured.
And the
even just
critical
like the
issue is
Triceratops,
even
having
lower.
one is
And as I
Pretty
said
good.
before, you can try to push the animal, right? Where you'll make the animal handling check with
or even
advantage.
the
Yeah.
Hadrosaurus.
You'll make
Hadrosaurs
you'll
are
make the
very-
animal handling check with
very
advantage,
sucks.
Yeah.
but
Don't get
there's
hit.
that Constitution check to see if in the next round the dinosaur doesn't slow down.
Hadrosaurus is a solid choice. 10
I
DC,
just don't,
40, 50.
we don't
it's
know how
not gonna
much
go
things are
berserk.
gonna fight, and I don't like that 19.
Well,
Its attack kind of sucks too.
At least if I went with the
Just a
Triceratops,
D10.
it'd be a lower skill check. It can go fairly
15.
fast.
It has great
It
constitution,
has
so it probably
good
shouldn't.
constitution, a decent attack,
yeah.
and damage.
Because
Go berserk
if you
either.
have the +4, that's at least the 50.
I could just go other. And I'm
That's
just gonna write
average.
Stegosaurus.
Just don't
I
get
get to
bucked.
pick whatever I want at that point, right?
Well, sure, but its stats are,
I'm really
done for
leery
you.
of anything
It's
with
not
a skill
terrible.
check over
It's
10.
not terrible.
Like it
In
still moves.
14,
It still
there's
moves a
still a lot
decent
of room
distance.
to fail there.
Yeah.
Skill check isn't crazy high. The only thing is his damage is kind of low, but
Well, I mean, it's
decent.
about the same
okay,
as
HP.
everything.
Yeah,
The only thing
his
that's
attack sucks,
the only thing
Your
that's
attack
higher than 6 is
and his constitution's pretty high.
I mean, the 14 skill check, you have
Come on.
+4 animal handling.
It's
You have a
50.
50%
Did the
chance
thing.
of failing.
Sorry, hold on.
I mean, the two of you are going to have a day to like practice and get in with the animals. Well, the rest of us are planning our if things go
That's-
south, how do we get out?
I'm gonna tell you guys, like when we were back at the inn, in case we lose and have to skip town really quickly, we need like a net to catch rain in the jungle so we can drink water and purify it.
Yep.
You know, the other
Get
factor,
supplies.
you might want to have something with decent hit points, because even if you guys don't pick one that goes berserk, somebody else might.
That's why I was thinking about the Triceratops, because it has good hit points too.
But the chance of it going berserk is pretty high too.
My dream of riding raptors.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm rolling on d6. Taking other out of it. Whatever I roll, that's what I'm taking. So
Two.
starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, come on.
I'm leaving it up to chance.
Well, other obviously doesn't count.
T-Rex.
Nice. There you go.
All right.
You're just
All
not
right,
going to
Wooks.
be moving very much.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm never
Oh,
gonna. I'm
you
never
have to
gonna
go 18 to
You
actually
gotta roll an
move.
18 to make it move.
I know.
Yeah.
I have advantage on everything.
Part of me looks at that raptor and goes, that 2 lower DC is perfect.
It puts it at 60.
It makes it that much easier to succeed, even if you're only getting 40 each time.
Yeah, but it has the chance of going berserk, and the Triceratops doesn't.
That's true.
And if I go berserk, I'm out of the race
I
entirely.
mean, the other also doesn't have a chance.
We
If
do
the
have
raptor
plenty of
goes to
fortune
this.
to burn on it.
I know, but if I have to use those fortune to make the skill check in the first place, and not just keep it from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, the Triceratops does go faster, It has more hit points and more damage and attack.
It seems sensible to me to have, if you're going to go...
I'm the risky one, you're the
Since there are two dinosaurs, to have one that
Just
has
gonna be
no
sitting
risk
right
of
at
going berserk.
Starting
That's
line.
fair, yeah.
Go.
So that way you're guaranteed
Somebody crosses the finish
crosses
line.
the finish line.
Yeah.
I'd say one Triceratops.
Well,
and
not
one
guaranteed, but it's
of
much
the,
more.
I will take the
the
Triceratops
second one.
and pretend it's a Velociraptor.
So-
There you go.
T-Rex.
T-Rex and
A lot
Triceratops.
of
I'm going to
percentage.
dress it up like a Velociraptor.
Okay.
Leon,
Start gluing feathers on it.
come on.
If you would please jot down
You got
the
all these people over
information
here. I'll pay attention.
here for your dinosaur.
Yeah, but there's one person who doesn't want him, so that's the person
That's
he
the place
wants.
you gotta go.
Same reason Francis tries to climb on Kyle's lap all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, this person
They
doesn't
know.
want me? Okay, I want them.
Yep. So, but everybody likes me.
That is really how Leon feels, despite how much noise he makes.
Yeah.
He's been
Everyone
overall
loves me.
very quiet today.
Well, he was yapping a lot when he was closed
He was
in the room.
contained, so it wasn't
Yeah.
as loud.
Right. But since
Sorry.
he's been out, he's been
Over your
pretty
shoulders.
good.
Yeah, because he
Sometimes
knows
that's all you
if
gotta
I'll
do.
just put him back in there. No, I think he finally figured it out. Alright, so
Users are
Tracy.
expected to pay in a timely fashion.
And I mean, if we've got time, I can definitely look into. Well, if they're going to be checking, I'm sure they're going to be checking for magic as well.
Yep.
Otherwise, I would say I can definitely look into spells I
Leon.
can try to hunt down and. Leon.
You guys betting on this race?
I'm actually supposed to be
Yeah.
asking.
Oh yeah.
Well, if we're expected to win, why wouldn't you bet on ourselves? But
You gonna bet on banana candy?
No.
Banana candy?
Is that what you named your?
No, that's what that's.
The
Oh.
the,
3 to 1
the
odds.
dinosaur that Akene Alpha's son is riding is banana candy. Yes.
Or big honker.
it's 3 to 3.
Yeah.
to
By
1
the way,
He's got a
you
big
guys
nose.
Can I ride?
You
Can
guys,
I ride Big Honker? He's
No.
a young T-Rex.
You guys can personally bet on these other the race. By the way, if you
Yeah.
want to try to make money on the side, you absolutely can do that. These are already being like
All of those are already in play.
those are already running.
Sorry. I'm just trying to read this.
1 to 1. Wow, and you're making no money.
What are our odds for betting on us? If that's in there anyway.
Since you are complete unknowns,
Mm-hmm.
1 in 5 or 1 in 7.
it's like 1 in 7. Yeah.
Cool. Wager times 7. That's not bad.
Okay. Does everybody? Have you got your information jotted down?
Yeah.
You know, the thing about Emanuel that makes her dangerous to take to these places is not that she's going to murder everybody,
Sure.
but that she can't lie.
Oh,
No, I'm aware of that. And there's always the likelihood that someone's going to piss her off, but it's more likely that she's just going to say very truthful things that people shouldn't know.
Will get us killed.
A fight may occur.
Because
I mean, if a fight
if you
occurs,
could just like stop yourself from talking,
that could be any
that's
of us,
also
but it's mostly
Like
A lie by
of
omission
omission.
is still a lie.
yes.
Exactly.
And that's precisely how
However,
Emanuel
it's
sees
less
it.
bad.
Not to her.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, can we just look at Kenneth Branagh more?
No.
Okay.
That's some nice
Stop
stuff.
derailing this campaign with your personal fetishes.
I don't know. I
Nickel
haven't
for
seen
every
any
time I
Jeff
heard
Goldblum yet, so.
That's his, not mine. The announcer of the dinosaur race.
This is Jeff Goldblum.
Must go faster. Yeah.
That's her.
oh, that reminds me.
Oh, yeah.
He's really good in that Thor movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Oh, that's
God.
great.
So
He
much
stole
fun.
Right up,
everything.
that alley. Yeah.
Literally just hired to be himself.
Okay. So now, what I
Jeff
want you
Goldblum
guys
as
to
Jeff
do,
Goldblum.
if you are gonna, okay, first of all, how are we planning to spend these 2 days?
With my dinosaur, probably.
I want to do some looking for spells.
Okay.
Got
Because
time
I'd
in
like
my-
to get all of that done
Yep.
now before we start
Doing the
right?
race. Yep.
So, you were going to look for spells. We can do that. So, keep that in mind.
Yep.
The two of you are going to... Or do you want to try to train bond with your
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
dinosaurs? Okay. All right. Emanuel, do you have anything on board?
No.
Okay. Lionel? Piere? Okay, you can just chill out. I mean, yeah.
Did we manage to get a long rest,
Obviously-
by the way?
Obviously, over the course of the next 2 days, if this is all you're doing, then yes, you will be able to long rest. Yeah. So go ahead and do that. I mean, might as well just take care of that, that bookkeeping right now. So let's go ahead and fit Takde. Let's get you sorted.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how purchasing spells for wizards work. I think it's
like
you
50
buy
gold
the
a level.
scroll and then you have to transcribe
Yeah,
it.
you copy the
Didn't they update it in Xanathars?
Maybe.
Didn't they make it easier?
If that's the case, then give it a quick look because I like easy. I'll get a spell list open for wizard just so that's easier. Edit character.
And some spells should be easier based on your school.
Yeah. And I've got divination, so there should be some good ones there. Okay. First, let's find some that could be useful. Skywrite's never a bad one, but that's transmutation. I mean, we're in a city. It's as close to texting as I'm gonna get.
Surrender, Dorothy.
I mean, it's not exactly private.
Nope. But it's great for like meet here, and then that
Yeah,
solves
and all
the
these
how do we
conversations
find
like-
people.
The whole city shows up.
Yeah. Who? Jim?
Chicago.
Who's Jim? Oh, why not? Locate object is probably going to be what I'm going for because divination, and who knows when that'll be useful.
Yep.
Especially if we could use it for things like find water. Oh. Knock is always tempting. Great way to open doors. Don't need gentle repose.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's... Continual flame could be useful.
That is very useful.
Yeah. Alter self if we're going to be doing any sort of diving,
Oh, wow.
because you can give aquatic adaptation. I got like 5 prepped on second
Francis
level.
here.
Yeah.
Thought I got it this way.
Anything
I'm not
at
saying
first
anything
level that
about-
seems useful. Featherfall.
Because there's
Well, a lot of
Like
this
how
is going
the-
to depend on the merchant and
Yeah.
what their sort of inventory is.
Right.
how
we
to
can
cast it.
Yeah.
And then maybe absorb elements, but that's very short term. Yeah, no.
Because
no,
where
no.
else? I don't know where it would be in it.
So let's
So I looked under the wizard. The addended spell stuff.
okay. Because yeah, prices are the big question. Because I know they're usually rather expensive.
And I think you also need to pay money to be able to copy it too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like 50 gold per level or something.
Yeah. You buy the scroll and then you also
Not to buy special inks and stuff.
to be able to transcribe it.
Scribing a spell scroll.
And that's closer. I'll just do a shorter list. Locate object. Featherfall. Is levitate worth it? Levitate could be worth it out in the jungle, but that's...
I think I still have a scroll of spider climb, by the way. Do you want that?
Sure. Hold on, that
Could
If you
I
can
mean,
learn it and use it more than once.
you do have a wish left. You could just wish for the spell, right?
Wish to learn it? I don't know if you can wish to learn it. You can wish to cast it.
That
I mean, it was just
ring,
part of the
Let's just
regular,
wish to win the race,
so it
then we
would
don't-
be a
No.
things could
that ring
backfire
is
situation.
hidden.
If you
In an
trying to wish to
unspoken
learn,
place.
but
And I
if you're wishing
don't
for the
know
spell,
about it, so I can't use it.
then it should be fine.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd
Yeah,
be
to
like
cast it. Yeah.
body cavity searching.
I
while
remember.
you sleep.
You're the one that has it, so don't even accidentally say, "Man, I wish I had a cookie right now."
Please
Like,
Well, you have to
the
be
spell.
attuned to it.
Yeah,
so
I'm not
that's
attuned to
2
it. I haven't even put it on.
sure.
I've shoved it somewhere
that's it.
on my
That's
person
not
and just
Francis.
try to forget that it's there. Probably made a hole for it in my shoe or something. Oh, they were trying to get water.
Oh,
They were trying to take the
Just
water.
wanted to make
water,
sure
just
they
haven't
weren't
gone
in the
to
trash
I also
water.
have Find Trap and Ultra Self.
If it's
you
on
wanna
your
learn
spell
those.
list, you can prepare it, and if you can spare time to decipher and copy it. Okay, so would need to find somebody who's got the spell. So either in scroll, or if there's somebody who shows up and is just like, "Hey, I'm here to
You
teach
can
you stuff
copy.
if you pay me."
I
Copy
will
from
give you
their
the
spell
scroll of
Yeah.
spider climb then, Takde.
I'll grab that. I don't think I can actually learn that one though.
Oh, you can't?
I
Okay,
can-
I'll keep it.
However,
then.
it's on the scroll. You can still use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't learn it.
But I thought if you could learn it, that, you know, like you could just have it and then we could have it forever.
Oh wait, no, I do have that on there.
What about Find Trap?
Spider climb. I think that's more clerical. No, I just have flaming sphere for second level spells. Yeah, with Fs. So, looking for somebody who's willing to teach/let me inscribe spells. Looking at either first level Featherfall or second level Locate Object or Continual Flame.
Okay, so you head into the market district. You see that there's a 2-story, half-timbered building with a green tile roof. Clearly in an architectural style that doesn't match the rest of Port Nyanzaru, so probably foreign business people who sort of created something in the style of a more Faerunian kind of building. Elan and Alderman Scrolls.
ALAN?
ELLAN. And then Alderman, ALDAMAN. MEN, sorry.
Oh, that's a ranger spell.
Can I go with him in case he needs somebody to negotiate on his part?
Now, when you say negotiate,
You need to make him
Persuasion.
okay, yes. Well, yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Yeah.
That you're not doing anything else, yeah.
Also a druid spell? That makes sense.
Yeah, there's... Don't tempt me with druid spells.
So you head inside. You see that there is what looks like a heavyset female
I
elf
guess I'll
at
sit
the
back.
counter. She sort of gestures you in. What can I help you with?
Looking to find some spells?
No shit. Which ones are you looking for?
I'm looking for Featherfall, being able to divine the location of an object, and the continual production of flame.
She opens up what looks like a sort of a sliding drawer and begins sort of fiddling through. Featherfall, and puts that on the countertop, right? Divination. I'm not seeing that. What was the other one?
Locate object or continual flame?
Flame. No, I'm afraid I don't have those. I don't have those in inventory at the moment.
All right. I suppose I can come back later for those. But how much for the to learn Featherfall then? It's just
Well, you'll have to buy the scroll, of course.
course.
The
Yeah,
learning
we get
itself
under the table.
is up to you. Let's see.
Went to a
Featherfall.
and
Now, Featherfall's a level 1.
Yep.
spell, isn't it? Yeah.
first
That
level.
sign, nice.
That will be
Very cool.
60 gold pieces.
And I try to negotiate by saying that if we get a lower price, that maybe we'd be more willing to be return customers.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Give me a persuasion check.
It's a good line there.
Maybe we'll come back if their inventory's been like.
Okay, that's
Refresh.
17.
We'll give you
Yeah, so she can. Yeah, I can see where that tracks. Well, I tell you what. The first one, I'll give you a discount. We'll say. Let's see. We'll take 12 gold pieces off. That'd be 48.
Sounds good to me. And then looking for the reagents, inks, and whatnot to transcribe it. which will be like 50 gold per level. So
Oh yeah,
that's
so
the
think it's
default
50
amount.
gold.
Yeah.
so she's offering that at sort of market price,
Price.
like that's
Okay. Track those down.
yeah. She has all the materials necessary.
So I'll just pay like a even 100.
Okay.
So technically, an extra 2 gold go out, but
Okay, that's fine. So you get the necessary materials and you get the scroll of Featherfall. She also sort of, can I interest you in anything else? We do have some other spells in our inventory if you're interested.
you get the cocked eyebrow.
Let's see here. We've got Power Word Kill. No. We've got Astral Projection, Banishment. Oh, we've got 2 copies of Blur.
Blur's not bad.
Create or Destroy Water, Eldritch Blast.
How much for Create or Destroy Water?
Create or Destroy Water.
I don't think I can use it technically, but
Is that level 1?
I
Was
think
it a
it's.
cantrip?
I think it's.
I think it's
I think it's second level, or it might be first level, but it's either cleric or paladin is a maybe. But if that's the case, then it's just what you prep in the day, right?
I just need to know what level it is.
I'll find it real quick.
Cloud kill.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the good one.
Create or Destroy Clouds.
And in a way, right?
Which is
Kill
technically water.
That's first level.
Water
Create
vapor.
or destroy water is first level transmutation.
60 gold pieces. All level 1 spell scrolls are 60 gold pieces.
That's not bad.
To make your own spell, it's like a day and like 15 gold.
Let's see. You already purchased Featherfall. Find Familiar.
I mean, that's a fun one.
Fire Shield.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you can learn.
Hold Person. That's always a popular one.
That's higher level, I think.
Invisibility.
I got that one.
Suggestion.
I'm just thinking of all the ways you could cheat with these spells.
Got a
Yeah.
teleportation circle. And Tensor's floating disc.
Oh,
God, I gotta figure out how much teleportation circle would cost.
Since it's floating this.
I also have something in the back. We have a special tome that came in. You might be interested.
Teleportation circle is 5th level. What type of tome?
Let's see here. She goes back into the back room and comes back with a very fine, finely leathered, bound book. You can see that inside are memory and logic exercises, and you can automatically see, as an arcane person yourself, is that the words themselves are kind of charged with magic. Like you can see sort of the aura sort of coming off of the book. I will say this is quite pricey, but I believe it's absolutely worth it. This little fellow right here, at least that's what I was told by our third-party sourcer of these kind of materials. If you carefully study this manual, you'll get smarter.
oh. I know what that
Eyes
is.
light up.
Is it Volo's guide to?
No, it is Gerald's Guide to Snow.
You peeled the cover off, and
Oh,
it's Volo's
come
Guide to Snakes.
Come on!
You peeled the cover off again.
It was
and
I,
it's Volo's
Volo.
Guide to, Gerald's Guide to
He
Snakes.
pulls off his Mission Impossible mask.
Well, dare I ask how much you're asking for it?
Well, that is
3,000 gold.
Why am I forgetting what those? There's a bunch of them, right? We're gonna read them.
Manual of
100,000.
Intellect
There.
is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Stupid plane.
Which, yes, I would drop money for that.
Plus 1 to your intelligence. Doo-doo.
Yeah, that is enough for me to tick up one. So, yes.
If it
Even?
makes an odd to an even, that's go.
If it's plus
Leon.
2,
Just
then the
because it's
ASI
not
next
immediate
level is
damage.
effectively like going
Oh
up
yeah, because you haven't
plus
gotten it yet.
2s. Yeah. That delayed ASI, man.
So you went. So you went 3rd level. Yes, wizards.
Keep moving. That or we need to find some deal we can work with these people.
That's why you brought me. How much gold do you have?
6.
Well, if we finish the transaction with Featherfall, then I'm down to 175 gold pieces.
So we got about 375 between us.
Okay. We may need to do a
Down
we'll be right
payment?
back or down payment. Yeah, but
Maybe
For
I can talk
items
her
like
into
this.
some kind of a deal.
yeah,
Put it on
I am
layaway.
more than happy to work on this kind of thing.
Because I do have like 900 gold.
Wow. Out of 100. How'd you get 900?
He doesn't spend a lot of it.
Because we got the
anything.
first 500 from the,
Oh, wait, no, I did
Yeah.
buy
and then the second 500 from
Yeah. So you've had it though.
So the Ellen woman is sort of watching you as you're sort of doing arithmetic in your head, with a kind of a wry smile, like sort of waiting for you. Are you finished?
I don't take loans.
I am curious how much it would cost.
20,000 gold.
Yeah,
pieces.
there we go.
All right.
I'll take 3.
Can
None of us have.
I try to convince her that maybe there's some work we could do for her?
Oh yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
I'd like advantage on this.
I mean, I'm happy to assist. I'm technically trained in persuasion.
And friends, please keep in mind that we have not yet seen our skeleton friend.
Yeah,
That's true.
We have
That is a 23.
Okay. She kind of eyes you a little bit, and
Can you take out a merchant prince?
well, there is something. You seem trustworthy.
Yes, I'm very trustworthy.
I tell you what,
She is.
I
I'm
never lie.
I'm not prepared to part with this at the moment.
Of course.
Especially for someone who can't pony up the 20,000 gold pieces right away.
Understandable.
I tell you what, you come back in a few days, I'll have a little task for you. It's going to be complicated, and it might be a little dangerous. But if you take care of it, Emanuel's yours.
All right.
Sold.
There even seems to be like marshmallow bits in this.
They are.
Yeah,
Chocolate marshmallow.
it's in the cookie part. Yeah.
And I just
You get that gumminess.
extra, like just like one piece that's a little bit
Just
still there.
jammed in there.
No, it's
I guess the last question would be how much for that scroll of invisibility?
Invisibility. Let's see. This is where you tell me what level invisibility.
Second level.
Okay. Very good. Second level, you said?
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be 100 GP to actually learn it, but depending on the scroll price,
I'll double check.
120 gold pieces.
That's.
I mean, I can do that. Yeah. I will not have enough to actually be able to learn it, but I can keep the scroll at least. Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Grab it for 120.
All right. So she hands you a spell scroll of invisibility.
How short are you to learn it?
Well, he's very short.
45 technically.
I'll give you 45.
Cool. So there's some running around to collect money.
Here we go.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's pretty accommodating. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
She wants the money, so she'll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for each level, it takes 2 hours and 50 GP.
Yep.
So it would take 4 hours to copy it down.
Yep. I'm spending the next 6 hours copying books.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, you paid the money, and you're going to spend the time. So yeah, very good.
And I'm sure you're noticing, like, as Takde sits down to start writing some of these down, Tealeaf just
I can
Breaking
The-
vials and
yes.
bottles everywhere.
I
all
can
the
see
oil.
why people don't necessarily like
Get really tough.
the side box text, because I was totally looking for it and I just kept on missing it.
Yep.
Except it's in that side box text for the spell book.
Very good. So Takde's, magical bazaar is done.
Check.
So then we have. So next it should just be the two of you, right?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
just me and
Yeah.
Wooks.
Practicing.
Oh, yeah. So,
Kyle, you ready, man?
Yep, let's race these dinosaurs.
well, first of all, you've got to do your bonding, right? You got to do your training.
I'm going to do my bonding.
And look,
Bonding
you
was-
want to get eaten.
T-Rex is it for me.
I was in this pen for 2 days.
Or you get eaten by the T-Rex before the race.
Yeah, you feel that.
His bonding is. Everyone burn.
And on him and
you,
check
you are
who's
now
gonna
one
race,
with
you
the
get to eat.
T-Rex.
Yeah, literally.
Here's what I want you to do. You have enough time over the 2 days, and Allah is perfectly happy to sort of let you inside the stables at any time and like use a portion of the dinosaur training area, just kind of get used to the animal and stuff like that. So you have enough time. I want each of you to make 3 animal handling checks.
Yeah, that's right.
I want you to record the numbers, the results, and keep in mind that you can, with the fortune, take advantage on these if you wish. Once you get those 3 numbers, get an average of that, and let me know what it is.
Or you can choose to re-roll some of them.
Can
What?
we roll 1 with some fortune?
Wait, so am I doing this with my advantage or not?
Why would you have advantage?
Oh, we're just
The
rolling
spell
checks.
Yeah,
Because he could do.
I was gonna do the.
he's enhancing his abilities.
But
For
that's,
wisdom.
This is over the course of 2 days, so that's...
It lasts what, like an hour?
How long does it last? You could at
It
least...
lasts until I break my concentration, so it could go days if I
it's-
didn't.
Oh,
No,
it's up to an hour.
Up to an hour.
Up to an hour.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
concentration.
So you could
up
you
to
could
an
get
hour.
advantage on one of those if you want to cast enhance ability. Yeah.
And then I could cast it again before the race, right?
Yeah,
I'd
because
like
you'll
to-
have a long
I'd like
rest.
to re-roll
before
one.
You want to reroll?
Yeah, so
And again, you're taking the average of these 3 results. Right.
that. Trying to bring the low ones up if possible.
Right.
Well, I got 23, 21, and
Go for it.
14, so we'll see what
Okay.
happens.
So, okay, much better.
Yeah.
Average of 19.
Add the modifier
that's
as
what
well.
I'm doing.
You got 3 results, and you got an average of 19.
Yes, I got 23, 21, and 14. I add them all together and divide it by 3.
16
Yep, very good.
It's
Is
technically
that with the
19.3.
modifier?
What?
With like, because it's animal handling.
Yep.
Right.
So if
With
you
animal.
if you add your wisdom to
3.
those,
Wisdom proficiency.
I guess that would
Yeah,
also
please.
just be to the average. It would just be plus
Add it to the average as well.
No, just like afterwards, because you can add the 3 to each roll, or you can add it
Right.
to the.
Yeah, it
thing.
wouldn't matter.
It would. Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
16 and a half is my average.
16 and a half.
We round up or down.
It's with the T-Rex. You probably want to.
Well,
Yeah, I'll give that. I'll round that up. Okay.
I guess 17.
Given our average numbers, I think we should have swapped dinosaurs.
So, over this time,
Just pretend
you
Virginia's riding him, and I'll do fine.
you begin to get used to sort of the weight distribution on the saddle, the way that this particular beast sort of responds as opposed to the rest of its sort of compatriots, right? How it handles in a crowd of other dinosaurs. You're able to sort of move it through the training areas and stuff like that around other different species of dinosaurs to make sure that it can handle being in a crowd well and everything like that. You find that the ones that Allah has already picked out for you are considerably like professional trained dinosaurs, but whether or not they are when you're on top of them is a completely different story. Right. But over the course of those 2 days, you get in tune with these beasts enough that you can do the following. Okay? During the race, if your dinosaur would possibly go berserk, right? Now, if he does not go berserk, you've got something different.
Okay. Man.
You may ignore that result once.
You get
Right?
one.
So basically, yeah, if it
Managed to
it would have
will
gone
it.
berserk. You're because of the bonding time, you're willing to sort of get it back into sort of
Focus.
control and
Yeah.
focus. Yeah, but you only can do that the once. If it happens again, you're out of the race, right? And maybe and possibly eaten.
Yeah, sure.
Never forget.
Now, for you, since this animal is completely unlikely to go berserk,
It's herbivore.
you instead have the you know,
Could still go berserk. It's just not going to eat
delicious
people.
plants. But
At least you're not
Mm,
the one
Impossible
character you
Burger.
had less.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But you are able to, again, one time
This is very
during the
helpful
race,
to this T-Rex.
That is a very
you
useful
can
skill.
you can automatically succeed on the sort of the driving check, if you will, right? To go the
The first.
maximum speed. You see what I'm saying?
Without losing the Constitution.
Well, yeah. So basically, what that allows you to do is what you would normally do is roll with advantage to try to go the faster speed,
Right.
but the dinosaur has to make a Constitution check.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, once during the race, you can just go that extra fast speed and not have to make that Constitution. The dinosaur doesn't make a Constitution check. So you get a free
Cool.
max speed.
Get one
round.
sprint.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. Very good. Anything else before we?
Oh, we actually have this picture then.
Yeah.
We got one T-Rex and one Triceratops. If that's supposed to be the T-Rex, those are little long arms, but
It's a young T-Rex, so
Hasn't grown.
the arms just grow mature and then they just never
The arms
grow
don't
anymore.
I used to be able to eat soup. Now I can't get my hands in my mouth.
And
longest one.
once we're all back together, I tell you about the deal Takde and I made.
It sounds like a great deal.
That sounds
What kind
expensive.
of job does she have?
I have no idea.
You realize if we have to leave because we don't win, we won't be able to do that.
We'll
Well-
deal with that if we come to it.
Okay. Did you guys get the supplies for going out in the jungle?
In a way.
Maybe.
The rain catcher?
No.
Did I imagine this conversation? Did we talk about this?
I mean, let's find out if we're going to be killed first before we do that.
Well, the idea is if we get the things,
I mean, I have nothing else to do. with
we
those
could
2
run
days,
instead
so
of get killed.
I can get everything.
Can try
Okay,
to hunt those
cool.
down.
All right, Piere will get our stuff.
I mean,
getting what? I'm sorry.
Just
All the
like
supplies we need to.
rations
Survive.
and supplies and.
I mean-
and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
running
like-
into the jungle.
That's
doesn't
what he was
mean
doing with those
killed
few
by
days
merchant.
beforehand.
Sounds like a bad
Look,
idea.
we didn't know where he was. He was
We'll
just gathering
eventually have
things.
to come back here.
I agree, but it is a stay alive for now option as opposed to a
mean-
die tomorrow option.
According to this map we've got, if we keep going south and east, eventually, if we survive, we don't have to go back. But we will probably die first.
So apart from basic supplies and everything like that, in terms of special items, do you want a canoe? Do you want insect repellent? Do you want a rain catcher? Like,
Sure.
what do you-
Yeah, rain catcher.
All of it.
rain catcher costs a gold piece.
Ooh.
A canoe is 50 gold pieces.
Do we need a canoe?
Probably not.
Probably.
I'd
they
like a
they
folding
wouldn't throw it
canoe.
in there if we didn't need
I
it.
mean,
Insect repellent, a gourd of it with 20 applications is a gold piece.
I can
How
toss you
long
some
does
money.
the application
24
last?
hours.
24 hours?
Days worth.
So we need.
And it's waterproof.
we need to
Excellent.
fill our canoe with jugs of insert.
And how much was it?
drag
5?
behind us.
It is 1 gold piece for 20 applications.
One gold
Well,
piece
if
for
we
20.
win, maybe we also buy a dino.
I'll buy
saying.
4.
Hopefully.
Stroke the side of my triceratops.
So insect repellents.
Ruby can give Pierre some money if you want to.
If we want a canoe, I'll need money. Otherwise.
How many days of rations do you want, by the way?
Well, we got a hunt, but we probably ought to have a good number.
Could
Say
get
at least,
backup.
at least 10 days per person.
last time we talked about rations,
So,
we
60
talked about
days
do we
worth.
need a rickshaw to carry them all?
Yeah, we're gonna get there real quick.
Wait, now, so how many?
10 days per person. So
10 days
60
per
total.
person. Okay, yeah. That's
Because even if you have a ranger,
that's 300 silver pieces. What is that in gold?
30.
30.
30. Yeah, it's 30 gold pieces. Yeah.
because even if you have a ranger to like help afterwards, it's still.
Did you want to get the rain catcher, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Or you already got that.
That's a goal.
Just tell me how much I need to put in on this, and you have
Well,
it.
if the rations are 30 and the canoe is 50, I'll do the rations. You want to do the canoe, or
Yeah.
should I do the canoe and you do the rations?
I'll do the canoe.
How much are
Okay.
gems worth?
Depends on the gems.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Why are you asking?
gold
No.
I feel like we're having two different conversations right now.
I don't have a lot of money, but I have some gems.
Oh well, you can probably sell them.
You can get him appraised anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I am starting up a party inventory for some of these larger and more,
Good idea.
whatever we want to call them, decisions.
We have plenty of insect repellent.
How much did we go for?
I bought 4 for personal use, but
Okay.
That's 4 gold pieces.
yeah,
And you have
80 applications.
80 applications. I figure I'll pass them out, but
Nah.
I mean,
I was going to say 80 applications. It's like 160 for you. Halfling.
half
right?
the size, right? Surface area, right?
Fair point.
Maybe. But then again,
Or
you gotta,
I just want,
then
like,
again, you gotta really
extra
get in the,
protection.
You got to use extra because
They're really
you've got
rather
that like
undercarried.
halfling love of food, so you always smell good to the
Yeah,
animals.
to the animals, yeah.
Yep.
It's the genetic, supposition to being bitten by mosquitoes.
There's a huge bush as well. So it's hard to get salve down there.
As
Hairy
was
feet.
commented on by the
Very hairy
people
feet.
at the bath.
Yes. Oh. It's like a shrubbery.
A shrubbery.
Just a little. I'm just a cub.
That one
I
next
guess.
to the other, so
Not
it
a,
creates
not
a nice
bear,
little
just a
path.
cub.
So, the day arrives. There is a large cheering crowd assembled at Golden Throne to watch you line up. The other dinosaur racers show up. You can see that, sure enough, Tiriki, Ekenkene Alpha's son, riding banana candy, is ready to go.
You got to bet on banana.
Are you guys betting on any of these?
You see the
If I had money.
you see the albino dwarf riding a stegosaurus. Called the dwarf is called Kankerkeel, the albino dwarf, right? And then Dark, the female rock gnome, is riding an Allosaurus. You know, Kanker's dinosaur is called Juicy Steaks.
Right.
Steaks being like the steaks of
Yeah, meat.
no, the opposite other way, the steaks of
wood.
a game or like
Yeah.
wood.
High stakes.
High stakes.
Yeah.
And Dark's
Just
Allosaurus
decay, no
is
seed.
called Batten Down the Hatches. You
I
also
want him to
see
win.
somebody that
you know you got
Allah
to
had
name
not
your
mentioned
dinosaurs,
to
right?
you.
Totally already did.
You see a turtle.
Hey,
I love turtles.
Is it a jockey or a mount?
rude.
Riding what looks like
They're going to win if they're the beast of burden.
Yeah.
He's pretty slow. Moves half speed. I think 15's his max.
What do they rate?
riding a Dimetrodon,
Wow, that's a sight.
which he calls Deadly Treasure.
Nice.
Figures the turtle picked the slowest one.
Tortoise in the hand. None of us
Or
are
he
riding a
picks
giant
like the
rabbit,
most
so
aggressive,
that's good.
knowing it maybe can't
Be
bite
very
through its
meta.
shell.
It's just going to destroy everything.
That's why I'm not going to try to push it too hard and make my T-Rex go to sleep. Just, it's going to take a nap right here. Ah, turtle passed us right at the end.
You go for the boost at like Mario Kart. You just
Can I buy a blue shell?
yeah. What's the rubber banding of this game? Can we just like get in front of them
Can I
and
just
just
have
like
a
stay in
full
front?
bill of them?
Is this,
Yeah.
is this double dash? Can I have...
Banana peels.
So Wooks, you went with the T-Rex, right?
Yeah.
And what did you take, Ruby?
Triceratops.
Triceratops.
This is going on
Are you
badly.
gonna do the enhanceability?
I have named my T-Rex Craig Jr. in honor of our dear fallen.
Well, now he's
Ruby's
doomed to
gonna
die.
kill your mount.
All right, things got weird.
Craig must be
It
sacrificed.
wasn't. They weren't already.
My dinosaur is named Patrice. I call her Tracy for short.
They
Tracy
had
the
names
Triceratops.
before.
How long have you been planning?
I was gonna say that's very specific.
Not long at all. Covers tattoo she has on her shoulder.
Look, when we talked about
Designed the
Tomb
war
of
paint.
Annihilation, what was my first question?
Dinosaurs?
Dinosaur.
Can I have a dinosaur?
Okay.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
I just have priorities, okay?
What does it take to get the skill to
Can
be
I?
able to ride
Yeah,
one of
can I
these?
just have a dinosaur?
I mean, if
I
we
mean,
win,
we just need one.
you
if we
know,
win,
there's
we could probably
To carry all the rations.
you know there's the rest of the adventure as well. You know,
sorry,
like
what?
Adventure's over
99%
for Ruby after the race.
Oh, sure. I'm psyched about the rest of the adventure. I just think the rest of the adventure would be enhanced by my own personal dinosaur.
But we also could just stop and not worry about the death curse and just become Triceratops racers as our career.
but then one of us would fall off and get trampled in a tragic racing accident, and then we'd be like, "All right, we got to do it now."
Or we get caught cheating, and now we're in the Velociraptor race.
So, this woman, beautiful and mysterious, addresses the crowd. You see that based on people kind of calling out to her and what seems like adulation and so on,
She is Queothe, one of the merchant princes.
Oh, okay.
Queothe. Queothe is the one that worships the fire god
She's
Kasu
yeah.
Okay.
and likes torturing others.
She does like torturing people. She's one who does a lot of tej and insect repellent too. As well.
Yes.
She also despises nobility.
Mm-hmm.
I have 10 bottles of Tej that I stole from the.
She begins establishing the
Do not
rules
say these things out loud.
I didn't.
and describing the course, which you can see that she points out. The pathway has already been marked with bright paint on the street, sort of reflective paint, and also these sort of flag-type posts, these that have been put in the street sort of periodically to sort of mark the race path.
So it's the running of the bulls thing.
She wishes good luck to all the riders, and before she leaves the sort of the pedestal that she's speaking of, holds up the prize, a sack full of gold, which she's like heavily jingles to include it. Like, this is a huge sack. Look at my huge sack. And then
Present.
There it is.
Just in case there was anybody who missed the on top.
yeah, she leaves the stage. A horn blows, and the riders take off, heading onto an elevated walkway above the merchant's ward, where a throng of people are cheering from below. So you're basically heading over this sort of bridge-like walkway. So now, I need each of you, again, regular animal handling check will get you the first speed. Advantage handling check will get you the second speed, but the dinosaur's going to have to make a constitution check.
And then, quick question before we go.
Yes.
Is anybody betting on this?
I think the person who would be betting is on the dinosaur right now.
Do we have to bet on a rider or
money.
the team?
I think it's right.
You bet
If
on
we're
a
gonna
rider.
bet, we should bet on our own team. Because
Yeah, that's
if we don't win, it's over anyway.
what I'm leaning in on.
I'll bet on Ruby for 40 gold.
Okay.
40.
Well, that's 1 to 7 odds, right? So
Well, it makes me, if I lose, I'm just at an
I see.
even 900.
That's fair, okay.
But if
You
it's
never
times
gamble what you
7,
can't afford to lose,
That
so
feels
makes
good.
sense.
I get you. What if you do 140? That's a nice 800.
or a nice
or just
440.
Yeah, just 800.
440, so I'm at even
There you go.
500.
How about 840? You borrow 40 from somebody else.
I could do even better. I could do an even 1,000 borrowing 60 gold.
Well, then
from
why
someone.
are we even talking about it? Just do it.
There it is.
Right?
That's the answer.
That funds the rest of the game, right?
Yeah, now we
Obviously.
have 7,000 gold. And
Every
we just...
financial advisor would say that's the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's a high-risk portfolio,
So-
but...
You have time to recover.
You are doing a regular, or are you going to push?
I'll do a regular and let some other people take each other out, so I'm not in the front.
Okay, you can see that this walkway / bridge is kind of a tight fit, so you can see that the dinosaurs are like sort of they're smacking against each other. It's crowded, and you can see that the jockeys are like sort of fighting for space, basically. So roll your animal handling check, please.
I don't. Okay.
You already rolled?
No.
We do have fortune.
Fortune, please. Guess I got a 13, not a 14. It's better. 17.
17. Okay. So how much speed is that?
50.
50.
50. Very good. Kyle,
I've cast my
your enhance ability, so you get that advantage. Are you doing that on the normal speed, or are you doing that on the...
normal.
Okay, yeah. So you have advantage on the
If I do that, what do I get? Since I already have advantage,
it wouldn't matter.
wouldn't affect anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't stack.
You just need to know what speed you're going.
See, 19, so plus 3, 22. So
Very good. Okay, so what's your normal speed for that?
50.
50. Very good.
Would you like us to roll for the other racers?
I don't want Lance to roll for any
Actually,
of the other
yeah, that would be good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Not
there
Lions?
there are 4
Let's get
other
there.
racers. So what the other 4 of you to do? That's a great suggestion. So the other 4 of you, what I need you to do is roll an animal handling check. I'm going to give you the bonus for this, right?
Okay.
Um,
And then let us know who we are.
Well,
Or at
not
least
banana
the name of the
Call
animal.
dibs on banana candy before someone else does.
so just going from left to right. So Robert, you're Tiriki, the son of Ekene Afa.
So banana candy.
You're banana candy.
Damn it.
Everybody wanted banana candy.
It's true.
Change
So
my mind. Don't look like
Lance,
Rage quit.
you are playing the albino dwarf Kanker.
Nice.
you are a sword or a sword.
You are playing Dark, the rock gnome.
Okay.
You got that.
And then you were the
Allosaurus.
turtle.
Cool.
Quilgok.
Quilgok. I like it.
So that's easy for me because I've got that arranged left, right. So all I have to do is record the numbers and pop them right in. Sorry, I'm going to try to kill somebody. Everyone's bonus for this is a +1.
Okay.
Cool. So roll.
I'm just really concerned.
How do you want me to roll? Advantage or non-advantage?
I rolled too well.
Why would you roll advantage?
To get the faster speed.
Oh, that's up to you. Whichever one you want to.
Can this animal go berserk?
Yeah, yours cannot.
To
No, yours can.
Tariki's?
Yours can.
Tariki's can
the
go
T-Rex, right?
berserk. Yes.
So yeah,
there's
I'll
the-
roll advantage.
Oh man,
Alright.
you're gonna
Give
keep
that
getting
boost.
way ahead of us.
Remember, Berserk might hurt us too.
Well,
17.
I can. If we
17.
take the
17?
red to improve
Okay.
our scores, we give
Very
them
good.
green, right?
Going quite fast.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
So Banana Candy shoots a little bit ahead of the pack.
As Banana Candy would.
Yes.
Would you like me to reroll?
You have 4.
Got a 4.
Mm-hmm.
You are on top of. Let's see. You're the one on the.
Since this is for you,
Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
it is your choice if you want to reroll.
To use the red.
Oh yeah,
Power
yeah,
of
absolutely,
the
yeah,
red.
absolutely. I would. Yeah, go ahead and roll that again. Yeah,
15.
15. Okay. You didn't do that with advantage. You did it regular, right?
Yeah, I just rerolled.
So a little bit lagging behind Kanker is, but he's keeping pace. He's keeping pretty much pace. He's like maybe 10 points, so to speak, behind. Dark.
I think you're definitely going to want me to reroll. You don't want a 20.
I mean, I do.
Oh,
Maybe I do.
20.
So Dark is riding the Allosaurus. 20.
Yeah, you actually make it because that thing's
No.
like an 18.
I know.
It's a 16.
16.
The Allosaurus has got a 16.
Because that's almost what I
Okay,
Got
so
a pretty
that's
good gate.
so that's 50. All right, very good. And Quilgok?
6.
A 6. Okay. Re-roll that for.
Okay.
Let's keep things competitive.
3.
All right. So,
The turtle is inexperienced.
Slow and steady, baby.
Dinosaur
I'm gonna win in the end.
Slow and steady.
You win with emotional willpower.
I mean, wait for it, and I'll
It
start
doesn't go
rolling
anywhere.
20s.
so you notice that Quilgok, the turtle on the Dimetrodon, hasn't even started yet.
I also have to make a Constitution check for the dinosaur.
Yes,
For the
yes, you do.
sprint, yeah.
What's that?
You just make a roll with a. You were Tariki, so you get a +2 to this.
14.
14. Okay.
14 total.
So next round. Sorry, what'd you get? I'm sorry.
14.
14. Okay. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Yeah.
The young hotshot son of
Because
a
the DC for the Constitution check is 10.
Okay,
So you're good. All right, very good.
that's not bad.
Yeah.
However,
Statistically
in the jostling and tight corners of the this overhead walkway / bridge, the riders are actively sort of like
Bump.
pushing and bumping each other. I need the two of you to make dexterity saves.
Don't want to fall
Is
off
that
the
the one I
bridge.
get advantage on? Advantage on?
Sorry.
No, I think you're just
No, I
proficient.
just did.
No, non-natural 20.
Nice.
For fuck's sake, can I reroll that, please, so I don't fall with my dinosaur?
Good call.
Oh, it's a little bit better.
It's why we gave you more green points.
14.
All right, you're good. So you get, jostled, you get an elbow here, a shoulder there, but otherwise you guys are set up.
I'm definitely the one trying to
There's clearly like a kind of like
dash in.
sort of road rash kind of bashing and moving, but a lot of you make your way across the bridge. Dust clouds are rising up behind your mounts. You tear around a grand temple with this domed roof that resembles an unblinking eye, kind of looking skyward. Happy priests are lining the streets, ready to cast spells to aid you.
Oh.
Invisibility. Where'd the T-Rex go?
You have the opportunity, so now we need to make those animal handling checks to see how far you go, right? But also you have the ability to take another animal handling check to try to steer towards the priests who may be able to bless your...
Do we have to
your
decide
dinosaurs.
that before we roll?
No.
I have one auto succeed max speed when pushing, so I might go ahead and do that now.
So you want to go max speed with that pushing?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that?
75.
75.
You still need to roll the check, though. Do I still do it with advantage?
Yes.
What, a constitution check?
No.
No, the
animal
handling check.
Why would you do it with advantage?
Because
Because-
he's trying to push.
I get one auto succeed from my bonding, so do I need to roll to make sure I meet the animal handling DC?
If it's an auto succeed,
It's an
It's
auto
auto
succeed.
succeed.
So
Okay,
you
great.
just go 75 this round.
Great, okay.
Yeah.
Then I make my con save?
Nope.
No?
No, that's automatic.
No,
That's right,
that's
yeah.
just
That's
just-
your
that's your
free
free pass.
Get it the one time.
Okay. Do you want to do that extra check to try to steer towards the priest? By the way, why don't I just go ahead and bring up the race map?
Yeah.
There we are.
Oh.
Yes, it is like a Grand Prix.
Is each arrow part of the sprint?
Each arrow is a place where sort of these are
Area
the
of
stages,
importance.
if you will.
Yeah.
So you started here.
The checkpoints.
There was that sort of
Event.
where
there
people
was
are
that
waiting on the
event.
side of the road with
Now
cups
you're
of water.
moving around this area.
That's where the priests are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So this is like the whole
Figure
time.
8 area
Mhm.
gets real tricky. I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So do you want to steer towards the priest? I will say you have nothing to lose.
Okay, sure.
Where's the shot? Yeah.
You're dead.
And you're on fire.
It's a 9, so probably didn't.
No good. Yeah,
Cool.
because of the jockeying and the tight corners and everything like that, it's difficult to get over there. Besides, you're already traveling at high speed.
High speed.
So.
They couldn't get an eye on you.
That's cool.
So, you want to go normal or fast?
I went normal. I had 16.
16. Does that beat your DC?
No.
Oh, that's right, because it's your race.
Yeah.
He's at 18.
But he didn't go berserk. So.
Didn't go berserk, but yeah, you're stuck
No
behind
movement
here.
today.
Okay, it just stops. No.
Now, do you want to steer towards the priests?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that was even a question.
21. 22.
You still have enhance ability on? Is that why you're taking the
Yes.
bench? Okay. Yeah. You had 21? Very good.
1 to 1.
So you roll a d4 for him.
So your T-Rex slowly walks over to the priest,
4. A 4. Okay.
stalking the prey.
For the rest of the race, as this priest, you can see some sort of arcane magic shooting out towards you. For the rest of the race, you can roll a d4 and add that number to attack rolls and saving throws.
Nice.
Cool.
So the Constitution and any attacks.
Yep.
Nice.
Or dexterity saves, like we had one
Oh, yeah.
previous
Good
round,
point.
right? Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Very good.
Bless.
Now, everybody else, please roll your
Let's go.
You just want this
Racing
dinosaur to go to the Zerk, don't you?
Yes, I do. I think I got it too.
I'm not a halfling, guys.
So 12,
12.
and I pushed it.
Yeah.
Okay. That did
That will.
I don't think
hit.
it's
No, it's
not,
11.
It's
Yeah.
Failing by 5 or more
5,
would
it's
be
16,
11 because
so-
it's riding an Allosaurus.
So I did fail, but I
You did fail.
But
but it didn't go berserk.
Not quite.
There's a lot of dinosaurs refusing to perform in this second round.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so Tariki and Banana Candy are struggling.
Well, the three of us rolled pretty shitty. So.
Yeah.
What about you?
One.
One?
Same.
Roll that again.
That's fine because I need the green fortune. So do you.
13.
13 for roll canker. Yeah, okay, so you stay normal?
Yeah, because I didn't roll with advantage, so.
Okay. Kanker pulls a little bit ahead. In terms of Wooks and Tariki. All right, Dark.
8.
Dark got an 8. Oof. Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
You didn't push it though.
Yeah, you don't go. Yeah, you similarly like Tariki, you're sort of stuck in this rut as you're trying to move along. You're trying to
All we have to do
get
is
hold
win.
of the dinosaur. And Quilgok.
Natural 1.
All right. We all rolled really
What'd you try?
bad.
Let's try that again.
Give it another 5.
We've not rolled about
You suddenly
That was the
regretting
highest
having
roll.
That
us
was the highest
play
roll.
those.
Quilgok,
It's still at the
you can't even
start.
see him. Yeah.
Damn it.
He fell asleep.
He hasn't passed you. He hasn't come with you. He must be back at the starting line, but it's hard to tell at this point.
Children are starting to approach.
He just got on the dinosaur and it fell over.
This is all part of the plan.
He died of a heart
Literally the
attack. at this
classic,
time.
like, tortoise
There was
riding
the
another
horn.
tortoise-like creature that is just doing the slow steps forward.
It's the sloth from Zootopia.
Yeah.
Just,
So
People in the crowd. Why is he riding a
you,
statue?
you continue forward. You round the Temple of Gond, where you can see that many clever water-powered contraptions are on display. However, a number of water jets are spraying these sort of intermittent streams across the road that might knock you off your dinosaur.
Fun.
So, normal or fast?
Normal.
Normal. Please make the roll, please.
I need to stop rolling on this paper.
Get
Fortune,
some
fortune.
There's a lot of
Let's do
fortune.
it.
Just need to. Thank fucking Christ. 16.
16. Does that beat your skill check?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
14 is my skill
So
check.
that's normal speed, right?
Yes. Sorry. I'm very nervous. I don't want to fuck this up.
Very good.
hey, I'm trying pretty hard to.
Now, please make a
roll the
dexterity save, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the whole adventure, so nothing
the
else
first
after
one
this
was pretty
matters.
high.
This is all dinosaurs.
Yeah, you're good. So one of the jets kind of like strikes your sort of shoulder area, but you're able to weather it. You managed to
Okay.
catch like the end of this sort of jet blast, and so you remain. You're a little moist, but otherwise you're still on your mount. Normal or fast? Wooks?
Moist.
Normal. Okay.
Didn't realize it
18.
was that kind of race.
Very good. So you put another 50. Okay.
So it's going
So
wild.
that's good. Okay.
Wet
Now, please make that
dinosaur
dexterity
contest.
save. Remember, you can add the D4 because of the blood.
Oh yeah.
The middle D4s are real caltrops.
Proper blast.
Let's see. 13.
You're good. Similarly, you get kind of tagged by one of these water jets, but otherwise you're
Thank
fine.
you, +4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a 9 would not have done you so well.
Okay, everybody else? Roll,
I'm still
please.
trying to get this
We're
dinosaur
going to
to go
swap
berserk.
dice and see if that helps.
16.
Quit rolling so well with that.
A 10?
It takes a lot for it to go to
Which I
berserk
think is a
anyways.
success.
I usually
mean-
roll piss poor, so
Well, get worse dice.
Oh, so you were rolling for the fast speed.
yeah,
Okay.
that's me.
Uh,
Just for
so-
information, I'm going to keep doing that.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. Please let me know each time you roll if you're changing the. Just say it every time. That would you help.
Okay.
I do like that we've got the pushing the
let's keep
limits
making-
and then the slow and steady, but very slow, unfortunately.
So you got a 6. Very good. Okay. So you don't.
Very good.
I mean, it is very good for us.
Dark.
14.
14.
I have, on my first rolls, I have failed
no,
them all.
Still no go.
He has made me
And
reroll.
Quilga.
10.
10.
Is that enough?
You do not see Quilga. You presume that he left or has
It's
died.
so perfect that it's the turtle.
He's going to get some meat on a stick. He'll be back.
He's going to feed
Yeah,
some
you've
fish
left
away
to the
from
market.
dinosaurs.
For all of our other racers, right? I need you all to make dexterity saves, and your bonus here is going to be.
Oh, I need
Well,
to
no,
make
you
a
don't
con
make
save,
to.
too.
You don't need to make a deck. You
Yeah, 'cause
don't
you're not
need-
Probably
moving.
not, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't made it there.
He's still seated at the start and somebody just hits him.
Oh
with
boy,
a-
I'm like,
My con save for that was 5.
Ooh.
All right, so next round you can
Third
only
round.
go half speed.
Okay.
So dexterity save, you get a bonus +2.
Literally everybody else?
21.
7.
7. Okay. So you're only going to be able to go a fourth of your minimum speed because Tiriki was blasted off of his mount by one of those high-powered water jets.
21.
Uh,
I love
You're
how
good.
this is going for this.
12. Oh no, it's +2, 13.
You're good.
6.
Well, he hasn't gone anywhere.
You're not there yet. So
He just sees the water shooting
at the
and
starting
falls off
line?
his
thank you,
boat.
though. Yeah.
He just saw it happen and was like, no!
Fold
The delayed
backwards.
reaction.
I'm a desert turtle.
What is all this water doing?
So you continue past round the Temple of Gond, and you're about to race
gotta
underneath
succeed
this
eventually.
elevated causeway that leads to the Temple of Soon. Beautiful followers of Soon are ready on the overpass, and it looks like, based on the baskets they're carrying and the stuff that they've got in their arms, they're ready to dump like shiny things on you that will make you appreciably more attractive, as you would expect from the followers of
Oh,
Soon.
cool. Or gouge my eyes out. You know, one of the two.
Okay.
Shiny.
Just like
I'm sure it's
riddle
like silver
So-
confetti.
A shower of
streamers and glitter is released over the race. I need everyone right now to make either a animal handling check or a dexterity save. Your choice.
Go Dax.
We choose.
Yeah, you choose.
I'll do animal handling.
Okay.
Ooh.
17.
6+1, so that's 18.
No, it's 17 with the
Hey.
+1.
Oh, okay. All right. Remember the dexterity is
4.
+2, right?
15.
So 4. Did you? So you go for dexterity.
I went for animal handling.
Oh, you went for animal handling. Very good. Okay. So your Dark's dinosaur manages to get blinded by a packet of streamers that essentially smacks it directly in the face. Can only go half its normal speed.
All right.
And then what about you?
15.
15. Very good. Well, you're not even
You're not
there.
even
So it
there.
doesn't
There's
matter.
some kids there with little poppers ready to go.
8.
8. And what did you go for?
I went
Wisdom
for
or
the
dex?
dexterity.
Okay. Similarly, the sort of shower of glitter ends up blinding Kanker. Just it's sort of like pawing at his eyes and everything like that. You can only go half your normal speed.
I would love to fail that, so I'd only be able to go an eighth of the speed.
All right.
I got a 25. It was a dex save.
You're good.
Okay.
Normal or fast?
I'm going to try to go fast this time, I think.
Fast?
Gotta go fast.
Okay, very good.
20, not natural.
Very good.
And then I need to make a dex save, or
Con save.
save.
Yes.
It's just DC 10.
And you get your dinosaur's con bonus,
17.
of course. Yes, you're good. All right, so you add another
75.
75 on top of that.
Man, I'm glad I didn't enter the race.
Very good. Whoops. Normal or fast?
Keep going normal here.
Your normal is pretty fast.
We're gonna re-roll.
Remember, you can only roll one of those. You don't roll
Right,
both of them.
right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, better. 13.
Well, that's good.
13
not a
normal?
critical failure.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
You don't go, but it doesn't try
Now,
to
the rest
It
of
doesn't
you,
try to kill me,
please
yes.
make your animal handling checks. However, keep in mind that if
Speed-wise.
you're blinded or whatever, you have to go half your...
I'm blinded, but in my dwarven cut of rage, I'm just like, keep on pushing, but I don't know.
Go.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
I got
let the
3.
animal do it.
3. So you don't... Yeah, you're... The distraction... you're unable to...
Is it an
Make any
enrageable
purchase?
animal?
I don't think that matters since I only went normal this time. Since I,
yeah, only normal. It's only when you push it there's a possibility.
Okay, that makes
Berserking.
sense.
So 18, so I
18.
pass,
You-
right?
So you try to go fast.
Yes.
All right. So you get half. You get half of that.
Half of the fast.
Right. So
So
that
it's just like,
is- yeah. Okay.
Believe in the animal.
You push ahead a little bit.
You
so,
make con save.
you know, I only go. Well, I didn't do anything, right?
Yeah. Just didn't move.
Dark
9.
9. Okay.
Oh,
Unsuccessful.
We're race buddies.
And Quivok
9.
Lance got,
I'm gonna see if there are zeros all the way down this.
Lance got a 1 on his con
No,
save.
no.
You are literally
Point of
seeing
order.
my dice luck in action.
What is my con bonus for my animal?
For your animal, your canker, right?
Yep.
+3.
Plus 3, so I'm 11.
Yeah.
So
you're
I
good.
just
Okay.
pass.
Yeah.
you
But
roll
that
more ones.
but that particular creature wasn't one that will go berserk anyway. But you do.
Because this is for the con save.
Yes, yeah. So you're good on speed. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. So crowds are lining either side of the street as you ride right through sort of the merchant's ward area. Flying lizards. A cloud of them swoops out of an alley to your left, zooming directly in the path of you and your fellow racers.
Are we still blinded? Were you able
No,
to
that's gone now. But the riders were able to sort of clear themselves. And
get my water bottle out?
Everyone make dex saves, please.
So it's +2.
+2 for the other riders.
I'd like to re-roll mine, please.
18.
Yeah.
18.
Nothing happens to me at the
18?
start of the
You're good.
11.
You're good.
11.
11. You're good.
18.
Good.
15.
Good.
18.
Good.
Well, you're not there.
Now you're all right.
Well, you automatically succeed because you're nowhere.
Safe.
All right.
I'm just hoping they'll kill each other, then I can jaunt along across the finish line.
If you're the sole survivor,
So,
you win.
normal or fast?
I'm going to normal this time.
Okay.
Ready to win by default. Everybody else will find
Everyone's
out.
DQ.
Thank Christ. 23.
The angry ones will maul
23.
each other.
Good. So you go normal
Getting
speed. That's
rid
what,
of the
50?
herbivores.
50, yep.
And then
Very
the
good.
angry ones will get disqualified.
As the T-Rex goes
Whoops,
rampage,
normal or
and
fast?
eats
So,
them all, and then
Do I
they
make
put
like
it down.
attacks beforehand if I want to attack something? Or is it after the roll?
You would make it after the roll.
Okay.
Gotta make that roll.
Let's see, 16.
So you tried for fast.
No,
No,
that's
you
right,
enhanced
because I
ability,
have
yeah.
enhanced.
Okay. So that's okay. So you're still in the same boat. Got it?
Can I see if anyone's gaining on me in the background? Am I allowed to know if anyone else is close to me?
You've got a pretty decent lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I? You're like right near me, I believe.
The closest to you is Kanker, actually.
Yeah, he's taking himself out. I don't need to worry about that.
Okay. So we're good on that.
So that was deck save.
Yeah, that was so Dex. You guys were just doing your. That was your
And
rides.
those are moves, yeah.
Those are moves, yeah.
So the rest of you need to do a ride for me.
He's gonna get a little bit of distance one of these days. Hey, there it is.
Oh, I thought that was a 16.
Find some purchase.
No, that's
18.
18. Wait a minute.
What?
You find some
Zero's all the way
Got
down.
it started.
All right, 30. The zero streak is gone.
It's
I mean, it
out.
looks like it.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
6. Okay.
Okay, I went for fast, and I got a 9.
9. Fast 9 on an Allosaurus.
Ooh.
That definitely fails by 5 or
I
more.
went berserk, so
Oh.
you're out of the race.
You see Tariki and Banana Candy. So they're, again, these sort of flying lizards are
Candy
swooping
went
around.
Yeah,
And you
he's trying. He really messed up last time, so he's trying to make up
You
for
see
it.
Banana Candy, like, instantly, like, his attention is taken by these lizards and just leaps forward and, like, tries to rip one out of the air, trying to eat it. And you see it very quickly sort of loses balance. Its legs sort of fold in under itself. It falls over and then ends up skidding down a sort of embankment into the water.
Wow.
So he is out of the race, isn't
He is completely out of the race.
Somebody order Uber Eats. I got these flying birds
Don't break the
coming
leg.
from-
Kanker?
Poor animal. In 11.
I mean, you could magically.
You got an
do it
11?
nowadays, so.
Yep. I don't know if that passes.
No, it does not. You stay where you are. Dark?
12.
12. Dark's no, you stay where you are. Allosauruses are tough to deal with.
16.
And Quillgot got 3. Okay. All right, very good.
Quillgar is starting to make progress.
Your dinosaur roars as you ride through the
You might
gates
pass
of the
out.
old city. A huge crowd looks down on you from the elevated walkway that connects two of those ziggurats that I talked about previously. You need to make 2 sharp turns as you round the fighting pit around Executioner's Run, right? You also notice that right now there is a crabby-looking Triceratops lurking in the pit. All right, so
So
I
two-
need
2 deck saves, is that what you said?
no. You need to make 2 sharp turns.
2 sharp turns.
So let's do normal or fast.
I'll stick to normal.
Normal, please roll.
Don't think I want to push it. Nat roll 20.
Dang.
Nice.
Okay, so
Oh, I
you
said the
that's your-
British. It's a natural 20.
All right. Normal or fast?
14.
You're not going very far.
No go. So yeah, you're still where you
You
are.
haven't gotten eaten.
Can I make an attack though?
If you want to, yeah.
I want to try to attack.
So there are three racers left, 2 of whom you can actually see.
Yep.
I'm gonna attack.
Kanker or Dark?
Kanker.
Kanker? Yeah, you're closer to Kanker than anyone else.
Trying
So
to take
I
out
roll
the
a
competition.
12 plus. Oh, and a D4. That's right.
I mean,
Do I have to
for
make?
an
Do I have to
attack,
make it like
yeah.
an success attack?
Yeah,
You have to make an attack, so D20 plus the D4.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you get a bonus to this,
I'm going to go to the bathroom while
Based on the
Wooks
dinosaur,
tries to
right?
kill
Right.
things.
which should be a +6
Yes.
for T-Rex.
So nat 20 plus 2, 28.
Oh, jeez.
Poor Kanker.
Double the damage.
Could you roll 1d12 plus 3 for me? Actually 2d12 plus 3 because you
yeah.
crit.
Yes.
Dang.
There you go.
Dang, son.
Yeah, because they have the average.
So that is 12. Plus I rolled a d4, right?
No.
No, that's just
because
for
it's
roll,
for
not
damage.
12.
hit.
Okay, 12.
But
Well, I do. Oh, no, it's on attack.
So 2d12 plus 3 gave you a 12.
12. Yes. Oh, wait, no, not plus 3. So 15.
15. Very good.
You almost killed my animal.
Yeah.
I think.
Dang.
Okay.
Just takes a big fucking chunk out of your leg.
So yeah, your T-Rex like basically bites into the Stegosaurus, Kanker Stegosaurus, and gets a considerable chunk. There's a spray of blood, and like you can see that now, Kanker's a dinosaur is having considerable trouble just even staying up, much less like continuing at a high speed.
Because I was going to try to go for high speed this round, but
Me too.
You guys should try attacking each other.
You can still try.
My
It's
team.
just that your guy is wounded. So 2 of them went. You're dead. What about you?
Disadvantage.
So you want to try to go for fast, right?
yeah, I went to try to go for fast, but you know,
Is
that's
it
a
as
big
a,
point.
is it as a at a disadvantage?
Now that my animal might be almost dead, or if it's happening just before then.
Yeah. Time is weird.
This is technically happening just before that, so let's just
Send them to me.
So 20 not natural.
20. Very good.
I would
Okay.
just like to say that our daughter has our puppy in a laundry basket full of blankets, and he's just laying there half
Leon
asleep.
or
looking for
Francis?
Are they filming a commercial?
No. Zoe's just
Fabric
thinking.
softener commercial.
For Downey.
And the animal's fine. Because that was Constitution.
Oh yes, right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to go fast.
Dark.
Going fast.
Going fast.
So this.
So who did you murder?
Oh, nice.
Not quite. Took a big
Am
chunk
I
out of
giving you
his
my
dinosaur.
highest or my lowest?
Highest.
Highest,
You get advantage.
18.
18. Yeah, you go fast.
And then you got to
Very
make
good.
a Constitution roll for the animal.
Oh, okay.
Yep. To see if it can.
Nice and low. Nice
The
and low.
bonus
You're
on
fine.
that is plus
Yeah,
2.
it's good. Yeah.
16.
It's
Oh,
16?
18.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's only 10, so.
Very good.
I kind of like this
Hook up.
method.
Fine. Roll again. I want to. This is the underdog. I want to see what happens.
I like this method of
9.
Wooks trying to take everyone
Okay.
out and
So
winning.
close.
Thanks.
That's the
Was
idea.
that your idea?
That was, yeah. He
Not
was
get
the
last
closest one
place.
to you. So I killed
Well, I mean,
Banana Candy
with
took
his
himself out.
qualification,
So I was like,
technically
he's the
not
next
last
closest,
place.
so I'm taking
true.
chunks
Try
out
it.
of his leg.
Yep.
I mean, I
So
think
You might
we all
finish
know
eventually,
Banana
unless
after
if there's
this
like a
round,
hard
so
time
it's
limit.
Another positive.
I think we all know
Have until
Banana
the
Candy
sun
was the
sets.
true threat.
Oh yeah.
So,
to be honest,
Kanker, in response, actually steers his dinosaur closer towards you and tries to knock you, Wooks, off of your dinosaur and into the pit.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, with the Triceratops, who's a little.
Vicious.
I need both of you to make strength saves, please.
Would it be
Do you get to add your +4 to that?
Sorry, strength checks. Excuse me.
Do
In this
I?
case,
Or
it'd be
is-
athletics.
yeah,
Athletics.
That black.
12
We have fortune.
plus-
This is not dinosaur. This is you, right?
Right. So I don't get the +4?
You do get the
That's
plus 4.
fair. Yeah, it's
Because
you're
he's
still
going to
on
run into the dinosaur,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
into me.
yeah.
So
So 12 plus whatever.
12 plus, we'll say 2.
It's 14.
Party
Well, hold on,
dwarf.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let me double check. Plus 0, actually.
So
Plus
this
0
is
for a dwarf, so 12.
So this is your dinosaur.
12.
This is you, not your dinosaur strength.
right,
Yeah.
right. It's my strength, but I still get the plus
Yes,
because he's running
yes.
into the dinosaur.
So 12.
Yes.
13.
Nice.
Thank you, plus 0 because that was
So do
You make a dexterity save.
an 11. Because it's plus 2.
It is plus 2.
So yeah, 11.
11. Okay.
Probably okay.
So, you guys clash, and you guys are riding against each other, the equivalent of like scraping a car alongside the
Trading paint.
Trading paint, yes, very good. Except you're trading scales. That's the name of the episode, trading scales.
There you go.
So you're jockeying against each other, and you manage, Wooks, because of basically the beefiness of your dinosaur,
T-Rex, yeah.
to push the advantage, and Kanker goes tumbling off of his dinosaur into the pit. Let's see.
And then a triceratops.
It's Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
I also need Kanker to make another dexterity save.
Oh, to see if he avoids
Avoid the
getting
solid.
bored.
A 19.
Oh, good.
19, okay. So you see him
fall into the pit, in the executioner's pit. You see, very quickly tries to get himself up. It looks like he dislocated his shoulder in the fall, and very quickly you see the Triceratops, as you're riding by, is actively trying to gore him, essentially. It's like rushing forward. Luckily, he's in enough pain and adrenaline so you can see that he darts out of the way and tries to run towards the end of the pit to grab one of the ropes to get back out.
So I'm not fully out. I can get out.
I'm sorry. You started it.
Excuse me, what?
So you rocket back into the city proper and head right inside the Grand Souk. People are sitting on crates and animal cages. They're rooting for you as you navigate these narrow lanes between these fully stocked stalls. Now, as you are passing through, you can grab and use an item from a stall if you'd like.
How close is everyone else to me?
You should have a considerable.
You have a considerable lead.
Yeah. I'm not going to push it then.
Okay.
Because
are you out of the race? Or?
I think I can get back in because I can get back.
He can get back in
now.
because he's technically.
He's probably going to be out for a turn.
Your dinosaur didn't take any
22.
damage on that fall? That's bullshit.
22 for a normal?
Yes.
Clearly had a rough time of it.
I'm not going to push it if I have a considerable
Are you going to try to grab anything? Or?
I mean, there will be a bad thing to happen to me if I miss, right?
Maybe. Not necessarily. You never know.
Get a fruit snack.
I feel like I'm far enough ahead I should not push it. I should just focus on...
You can grab a bottle of Tej from one of the
I got
the
it.
nearby
It's energy
Tej.
drink, right? You know, and just
You can try to knock down one of the canoes that they have for sale in the path of another rider.
Yes.
You can try to free one of the
That's
monkeys.
Oh, yes. Do that.
Or
I'm the
you
closest
can try
one
to
to you.
get another mount. If you're not happy with the one you're on, you can
No!
try to jump onto another one.
Bonded. I named her.
Okay. Whoops.
I'm good,
Normal
thanks.
or fast?
We're going to keep going normal.
Keep going normal?
I don't want this
Yeah,
thing
Ruby
to...
not only named her
Rampage.
dinosaur, she gave
You
her
know
Well,
what?
you got
Because
a
I have one free berserk.
you got
Yeah,
one free
no, I already
berserk.
know.
So
This is my
So on the
dinosaur.
free berserk, do I roll again, or is it just...
We're
it
gonna
just
have to
doesn't
buy
You
have
just
this thing.
ignore
Yeah.
what would happen.
You're just good.
you ignore the
You
arrow.
might still fail the check, but
Right.
it won't go.
Sure.
Well, nom your face.
I will... We'll try in advance.
Yeah, there we go.
Once here.
Do it.
We're going to roll again. Much better. 22.
Very good. So you rocket ahead. You can see that in your periphery. You can see that Wooks is starting to close the distance.
Okay. It's Wooks, though, so that's okay.
Yeah.
It's just if someone else.
Right.
Starting to wonder where everyone else is.
Plus,
Now-
you put a bet on it, right?
Now Kanker was able to, in the distance, you see the Kanker was able to scramble out of the pit, rushes back towards his dinosaur, able to mount it and keep going, but he can only go half speed. So roll for animal handling. The rest of you can do so as well.
Thomas, are the dogs bothering you again?
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool.
Dang, that's good.
What'd you get?
13.
13 for you.
Because it's +2, right? Or is it +1?
+1.
+1, 12.
Yeah, you're good.
So I don't see
Okay.
Leon. I want to make sure he wasn't
Yeah.
He's just Lando.
trying to get in his face
Was
again.
he going normal or was he doing
Normal.
fast? Yeah, normal. Okay.
Some good speed.
So half speed.
All right. Very good.
You got to
So
get up to normal
now
space
Kanker and
before
Wooks
you
are
sprint.
actually they're back in place. You managed to sort of correct
He's
what
very-
happened.
very
You guys
low
are like
health.
next to him.
The 1 and 2.
I don't know that.
Dirk,
20.
20.
Nice.
Very good. And I assume you're going normal,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
I guess
want
so.
me to go slow.
Yeah, no, we do want
So
you to lose. You're right.
who is behind me?
Just me.
Behind you, just Quilgas.
Okay, I'll put a.
Who you are not even
I'll
a
try to
wing.
put a canoe in his way.
Okay, yeah. All right, then make a
Get there
strength
eventually,
check.
just crunch, crunch, crunch,
Plus
crunch.
plus 0.
Your animal starts like eating the
Oh,
canoe.
+0, 4.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, you're not able to because of
Yeah.
her size
Pull on
and the
the
size of the
canoe, pulls me off the
dinosaur.
dragon.
It's difficult to
Dinosaur.
grab one of like the sort of the ropish cords, basically, to release it, so you don't end up grabbing anything. Quilgok, what did you
12.
get? 12. Very good for Quilgok.
We're getting
is-
some movement.
Aha! So that was normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Slow and steady wins the race.
That's
as
what
it
he's
clearly
thinking.
says.
Are they
Yeah.
close enough to this part of the race to do those things?
What, Quilgok?
Not
Dark
Quilgok.
was.
Oh,
Quilgok
okay.
was not. Not even close.
All right, okay.
All right, so now you can see that the finish line is in sight.
Okay.
However, it's in the arena.
Okay.
The stands are completely full of cheering citizens.
Oh, Jesus.
Uh,
Okay.
Each one of them stands up to get a better look at who's in the lead. And you can see that there's one final obstacle to be overcome.
A single
You
hurdle.
see a water-filled trench 10 feet across that's got to be jumped over by you and your dinosaur in order to continue.
Just swim across.
We have 2 fortunes.
So
That's true.
Three.
Three.
Oh, I only see 2.
Trust me, I've been counting. I don't want Jessamine to kill me.
I've only had to use it once. Oh, no,
I have
I
had to
used
use
it.
first of
several
all,
times.
normal or fast?
If I make it fast, will it make it harder to go over the jump over the trench?
Yes.
How close is the finish line?
Like
You
this
get
is-
over the trench, you're
you're
there.
done.
Okay, so I can do a normal and it will take me to the
Hunt.
finish line. It won't be like 2 feet.
You still
away
have
from
to successfully jump over
Yeah.
the trench, but yes.
it. But okay, then I will do normal.
Okay. Roll, please.
Reroll, please. 15.
15. So that for you, that's a success, right?
Yes, it is.
Very
14
good.
is the check.
All right. Wooks, normal or fast? Normal it is? Okay.
13.
No go. Okay.
Puts me right at the bottom of the going berserk. So.
All right.
Safe.
Yes. Anything under 10 is bad.
Yes.
Fast.
Fast? Are you going to go fast?
Oh, yeah, I should have
18.
attacked you while I was at it.
Why?
18.
Lance, stop
I'm
trying
nowhere
to beat
near
me.
you.
You've actually pulled ahead of Wooks now.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
So-
want to get. I'm trying for second.
In a distant second is
Okay, I didn't know
Kanker.
how.
Despite his wounded dinosaur and his sort of roughed up, dislocated
It
shoulder.
just seemed to give you more
I'm proud of
perseverance.
Ready to
Kanker. I am proud of
me off.
Kanker.
Dark, will
Go.
you roll, please?
11.
You tried to go fast?
Yep.
And you were on Allosaurus? Nope, no go.
It's low enough it goes
Well,
berserk.
wait, +3. So
Yes, that is low enough that it goes berserk.
Oh,
Okay.
shame.
Oh no.
So, Darks goes wild and
You make it third.
actually manages to steer, like falls over headlong into the trench.
Really
Right.
mad about missing that canoe.
14.
I was going to say, that's quite a couple of
So
moves
that's
for you.
another
Grab the
success.
canoe. Nope.
14.
Okay.
Did you go faster? Or normal?
No, steady.
All
Gotta be steady.
right, very good. Okay, you've managed to go past the first turn, so congratulations. All right.
Oh, this
So
poor man.
here's the moment of truth. There are 3 racers left. Let's be fair.
That's fair.
I need you to make another animal handling check. You, and you.
Can I take advantage?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You can also take advantage.
I already have advantage.
Yeah.
Because of enhanced ability. Has about an hour.
20, not natural.
Nice.
All right. Very good.
The jump is made.
18.
Okay.
13.
Fine.
This T-Rex is getting there, but like just barely making things.
You didn't even jump, just like took one step in and out.
Yeah, it's Jurassic Park. Like there's a big thing, but like it
It
just
don't
ignores it. Just this doesn't exist in the film anymore.
It's going straight through the
I
restroom.
know it was there, but now it's this electrified fence. It didn't have to go over that giant
It's gone.
crevasse.
What?
Okay, so the lot of you leap over, manage to clear the trench. You come through, and sure enough, Ruby, you already had a considerable lead. The only person that came close was Kanker, and even that was pretty rough.
Great.
So
Yeah, we were fighting mostly for second.
you can see as you enter the arena, there's a huge roar of applause and cheering. Beautiful, scantily clad men and women hand you a gleaming medallion. The crowd roars and chants your name. Your dinosaur roars in tandem and regards you with respect. There's a gentle look in its eyes, like, we did it, buddy.
I'm going to buy this dice.
It's your buddy now.
It costs every single
I
cent of
don't
the
care.
roll.
I'm buying it.
Sounds good.
A representative, in addition to the medallion, gives you the following. You get a bejeweled ring.
That has one wish on it.
You get a bejeweled ring
We have to find
engraved with
3
a
wishes
tiny,
of-
intricate maze.
Ooh.
They refer to this as Uptal's ring. UBTAO's ring.
UD.
TAO. Uptal's ring.
Cool.
You also receive
some identification
5 agates and 5 emeralds.
Oh.
And I'll just hand those to Takde.
Each of those worth 5 gold pieces each.
I'm going to give it to the spellcaster.
Okay.
I helped you.
You also are invited to dine with a merchant prince of your choosing.
I'll get you one, you bet.
I know.
Good to get a foot in any door we want.
Kanker is offered as the second place winner the key to Port Nyanzaru, which gives him free lodging at inns and free food for a day, basically, and 5 passes for a free day at the public bath. At a public bath, like not the one, but
yes,
a paid one. Yeah.
I got gold too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There was also a reward.
I just need to know how much it is.
Your Triceratops is worth 20,000 gold, same as the book. So now we have to get, which one do we want?
I'm
Mine's
sorry,
amazing.
guys. I'm buying the dinosaur.
Yeah, that's fair.
We need it to carry our stuff into the jungle.
You are given
That's
500 gold pieces.
That's it. Okay, probably not enough.
You also got the
Solid.
jewels. Right?
Yeah.
That's true.
However, I believe Lyonel
Yeah, I did.
came into some decent
That's
bucks.
true.
I basically got half your purse.
Yeah.
So you, because you successfully bet on her, you
No,
received
no,
that
40,
money.
not 400. Yeah. You should have went with that 800 like we suggested. Idiot.
Big dummy. You know how game theory works.
You got to gamble it all or nothing.
Especially since we were the opponents, so we helped fix the race.
I mean, we tried in our own little ways.
As long as I don't get in trouble for enhancing my ability, I think we should all be fine.
And with
you got third place.
streamers and glitter and horns being sounded, and you enjoying the adulation of having won this unchained race, that's where we stop for today.
I don't get anything for third?
No, third place doesn't get anything.
Oh, I just need to know how much my dinosaur costs.
Well, you can figure that out next time.
Could you help me for once
Sad face.
instead of him?
Taking a big bite out of that guy's leg helped you plenty. Thank you very much. And knocking him into a pit, slowing him down? Come on.
I just mean me personally out of game. Could you help me for once instead of him?
Never.
God.
So we've got 1 rain catcher, 1 canoe.
I got a nice binder.
60
Did you just buy a canoe? You didn't buy a canoe, did you? Oh, you bought a canoe?
Got it, yeah.
All right.
I only got 500
how much
gold.
insect repellent did you buy?
80 applications.
Yes.
80 applications?
80 applications.
And they last for 24 hours, each application.
Yeah.
How much money did you get?
That's a lot.
However, that is
210.
dependent on whether Lionel's going to share it. So
about
technically, you
half
said it was
your purse.
personal.
I'm putting that specifically.
Ditch off an odd number on his gold.
Yeah, now I still
Now
have
made
like
it
an
worse.
odd number, but but it's 1010, so it's a little.
So it's pretty looking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Little binary.
I have 1,065 gold pieces.
I'm not
Yeah,
far
that'd be enough for
behind.
the dinosaur.
I don't know how much dinosaur.
I'm very surprised I was not killed by the T-Rex, to be honest.
Me too. You never.
No, I wasn't surprised. You didn't go for another attack afterwards.
You didn't,
Well,
you didn't
I
push it,
intended
so.
to, and then I forgot, but then I also didn't want to, be looked down too much on for killing you.
Yeah,
so,
like killing the animal.
because they're like, it's fine, but it's kind of looked down upon. I think, hurting you, people
'Cause-
be like,
'cause the
okay,
second
but killing
time-
you, that'd be a little much.
The second time, I figured it's like you're going after it while I'm still trying to climb.
Straight
and you're
up,
just
devouring a
devour-
rider would not be kosher for the dinosaur or for the committee that runs through
There'd
it.
be no evidence. What? There's no right.
Then we'd have, his whole
Well, they'd be able to
dwarven
check the
family
proof,
after
right?
us. That's
Yeah.
what we need.
And I'm sure people are watching.
Yeah.
Let's be
Everyone's
real.
watching. Yeah, it's definitely a.
You do it on the turn where
See
there's
why.
no
I
one
just have
there.
to turn him invisible.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It just disappeared.
Yeah.
And then the rider disappeared. We don't understand.
See, he could have done it while I was off the animal, and then it wouldn't have been as unconscious.
He would have gotten caught.
I mean, let's be honest. It was up to that Triceratops. That's the real killer there.
Yeah.
The herbivore nobody expects.
How far did you make it?
Like 90?
He didn't get to 100.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
total point value was basically the person with the highest point value at the end of each stage.
The two riders that died
would be
were
the
much
winner.
further along than he was.
That's true.
So what did I end up at?
You were at 450. Wooks managed at 200. Tariki got 160 before he got out of the race. Kanker had 270. Dark had 180. And Bogok had 90.
So half of the slowest.
And I was rolling terribly.
I was rolling pretty terrible.
worse.
I was real
doing
concerned
worse.
about dying, so.
So so this was our dinosaur racing episode. Did we have any concerns or commentary or anything?
I like that setup for it. I'm already
That's
trying
so
to
much
figure
fun.
out how to pull that in, dude.
That is from a third party thing. Basically, somebody said, "I'm not happy with the dinosaur racing rules as presented in the book.
Yeah.
Let's do something a little more structured, a little more action set piece."
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good.
I'm glad we
Yeah.
could get
That was
everyone
fun.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool
lot
too.
of, lot of scary rolls.
Oh, yeah.
I was
That's the fun
terrified
of it.
the entire time.
That's the
Luckily,
fun of it.
hey, and we were all complaining we had 6 fortune to start with, so let's be grateful that happened.
Normally,
Because you
when
used like all of them, except for like
Normally-
2.
Well, we kept
Normally-
giving you back.
Yeah. And normally when we start with that many fortune, it means we're all going to die in game. Not
Yeah.
like
There's
that
some
we
bad
don't use
luck,
it.
you know.
Bad
That's,
things have happened before.
Yeah.
you got to balance out all that karma.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will see you around.
I'll see you tomorrow. Costumers are going to be there at 12:30.